ultralight in June so you don't have to. I pedaled you 4 miles this morning. Try somewhere brand new. But yeah, I'm up in this swamp right now. No idea. I've never fished here before. It's a big maze. I just wanted to focus on where there's a little bit of current. We've got probably 3 miles of, maybe 2 miles of stuff I've never fished before. So it's been pretty good now after months of complaining. So let's just start making some casts. See if we should just keep going up, keep going down on the Hobie links today. Well, there's fish here. That's for sure. I was on a trout magnet and I broke them off. No, I didn't. I think that was a largemouth bass on this little trout magnet here. Oh no. You ever get so excited, like you hook a fish pretty much immediately and then you, oh man, tag a friend? Oh no, what did we do here? Sweet, alright. Alright, well, I spooked a bunch of fish, I'm sure, but I had a bite right away. 2 bites actually on my first and second cast, so let's see if this pedal was worth it. It sounds like I hear voices. All sorts of noises from all sorts of critters. It's 6 feet here, so it's pretty deep. I mean, yeah, anywhere there's current flow, right? I think that's all fair game. Not getting any life up super shallow though. I'm in 3.5 feet here. Just kind of doing a choose your own adventure thing here. I was hoping to see some fish here. I'm not going to go further into a tunnel if I'm not getting any bites, you know? Or should I? I'll go a little bit further up. So those first 2 bites happened on a bank like that. So a little bit of an exposed bank seems to be key. I've got so much I want to cover today that I just don't want to waste too much time playing Goober Explorer. There's like usually fish scattered in some of these highways and pockets and stuff, but I think for the sake of efficiency, because I got a lot of miles to cover today, hopefully a lot of fish to catch. So what do we start with here? This is a 1/64 ounce trout magnet jig head and one of these little trout magnet bodies. These are hard to rig, man. You need some steady hands. See that? Not very even. All right. My first 5 minutes of fishing maybe taught me that. I made a couple of casts as I was coming up through here. I do that sometimes, like before I even put a camera on, just be like, okay, it gives me an idea to say like, okay, fish are somewhere stagnant, somewhere no current, lots of current. I hear both in, it's like a thump. You ever hear like in the swamp, it's like boom. It's almost like a drum, a little deeper. It's actually really terrifying, the sound those bowfin make. This looks good here. I would think I'd get a bite or 2. As long as there's flow, right? That's what I always feel like is important, just a little bit. A little experience will tell you how much flow is the right amount. All right, I've had a couple bites here, spooked them. Let's see if they're willing to commit again. Stick to a couple of these shaded banks, maybe. There we go. What do we got? Little bluegills. All right, there's going to be a lot of bluegills this size. So I think, you know, you got to settle in for a day of yanking on bluegills, 4 to 8 inches. These areas do tend to have a lot of them. It never doesn't mean there won't be a couple interesting bigger fish around, but sometimes these areas are loaded with that. You definitely provide action. So did another day. So I'm going to probably just do this in a weird order. This is going to be the last day of this 3-day cold front. I did the day yesterday where I just did not catch much, but absolute hammers of panfish. Big ones. Great big ones. But today, I said, let's try some more brand new that I've never fished before. pain in the butt to get to. Seems like I found some scattered life, just nothing too much. What we'll do from here is we'll get out of this little creek, and then we'll go hit the actual main Blackwater River, you know, a little bit more big water. Okay, getting a couple bites here. There's a long pause on that one, you notice that? It's a nice sized fish. Oh, it's not too bad. Oh, poor guy's got a little ding on him. It's a competitive place out here in the swamps, man. Look at that background though. Catching bluegills in that. But yeah, this is a vicious place. A lot of predators, fast currents, floods, you name it. It's just not an easy place to be a bluegill, a bass, or any fish in general. Any aquatic life, fish has got anything aquatic's got a really tough life in here. This is not one of the places where life is easy. Everything's got to work for its survival here, more than most other places. Just doing a little light jigging here. 7-8 feet. There might be some bluegills down deep. I'm guessing it's mostly bowfin. A lot of the fish like to work ledges, right? They're not really in the actual ditch very often. They'll be right on that slope. Yeah, rolling that little jig off this slope. Yeah, that's something nice. Could be my fan, the bowfin though. Yeah, you play on that slope a lot, that's what you get. You never know. It's a very nice sized fish either way. I think that's a little too big to be a brim. Hey, we're in for surprises before. What is that? I think it might have been a channel cat. Yeah, channel cat. Little channel cats love these areas. It's really rolling that down the hill there. First things first, let him go. That's a channel cat. So any seasoned angler does tell you to get the slime off too. I don't know how true that is. It could be one of those old wives' tales, you know. But we're on some life. Definitely a good diversity of fish we can see here. I know that. All right, seems like that bank's got the life, right? Don't rock the boat too much if you found some life. They're sitting in some current, that's for sure. Bank across from me, no, that's a little too mild maybe. Old slow drop. Got these guys today for the ultralight. Another one of those bluegills. Same bluegill, man. Bleeding a little bit. They're tough fish though. He wasn't hooked in the gills. know if it's a bed here, maybe? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so I think I'm hitting the point already. Should we go to a bigger profile? Maybe. No, got my trout magnet. Felt like a nerd doing that. Let me try a little bit different profile here. Seems like there's a lot of aggressive bluegills. I feel like maybe using a little bit of a bigger power bait then. 2.5 inches. So, a lot of times you start out doing this fishing, you're looking for life first, right? It's like step one. Am I going to get bit? Then you're like, okay, how do I refine? Is it a bigger bait? What is it? In this case, I went up to something bigger, yeah. The only problem is I just went over, maybe their house, unfortunately. All right, this thing is spinning. Why is it spinning? The weight's not heavy enough, so, okay. These are spinning because I've put too light of a jig head on. That's also bad. You don't want to do that. Right? Sometimes these gulps need a little heavier weight to not helicopter like that. So what else we got that's not going to helicopter? Try these stoneflies. These are going to work. Helicoptering baits are bad. Gulps are infamous for that if they're not rigged on the right weight. Right? You just can't put the biggest gulp all willy-nilly on a 1/30th ounce jig head, unfortunately. Okay. This should work the way I hope it will. Got a little breeze going. All right, let's try these banks. Bottom looks hard. Let's see. First bite, then missed there. Okay. A lot of small fish here. Oh my goodness. Cleaned off my little gulp pretty quickly there, but let's keep trying. Got a ton of these gulps I need to burn through anyway. Okay, what else we got here? A little bluegill. I'm not going to lose my jig to this one. There we go. Yeah, I mean, gotta do better than that. This looks really good right here, man. You're going to find the bigger ones for sure. Something like this makes sense. Cool. Got a couple bites down here. See if any of them want to stick. Gotta have some more fish here somewhere. Okay, let's see. And it's probably a great place to jig if I could, figure out where to not get hung pretty often. This is tricky going through these trees, huh? Nope. Cute idea. Bad in execution, though. All right, let's try. I'm gonna try these swimmers. These things look pretty good too. Little 2-inch power bait swimmers. Yeah, I think this is going to be hard to beat here. Okay, it's 7 feet deep here. It's probably a big undercut. A lot of fish can be hiding here. Is that a gator? It's a gator. He's really small. Mm-hmm. You know what that was, right? I think it was a bowfin. Yeah, I'm just seeing cars and bowfin here. Pass? Hey, that's better than nothing. Cool. It seems like everything after 7 feet right now is definitely instant. Gar and bowfin only. Alright, that's something there. Put the little 2-inch power bait on. Took me a minute. Hey, there you go. It's not that bad. This swamp seems a little lively. Not crazy, but we got some life here. Definitely I spent way too much time looking at gar over in, 6-7 feet of water. It's a cool looking area. Oh, we'll keep pushing up. Quality of the fish seems okay. Water is in the mid-70s, so definitely cooled off. Looks like there's a lot of trees here, like down trees. There's definitely a good amount of laydowns here for sure. Gar and bowfin are really liking my kayak. Swimming up behind it. Could be carp and mullet. There's definitely a lot of fish could find back here. It's definitely the last ultralight trip though. So what kind of happens is, like, I'd say August, July, August. Yeah, even these cool downs don't seem to fire off too much of a bite. It doesn't seem like there's that much of a bite going on. A little bit. I mean, last 2 days were tough for sure. There's fish to be caught, but it's not consistent even on these tiny baits, right? I'm getting a few bites. I'm not catching that many fish either way. Lazy, right? Everything's kind of in that lazier biting mood there. That was something. It's all like one-offs too, right? You notice that? I'm not really getting multiple bites a spot. generally feel like there's a lot of fish in these spots. They just don't feed that well. Like, but there's no current. Man, you need like really specific sets of conditions probably to get, stuff really, really chewing. Besides, an occasional bite here and there. Bluegill gone. I miss these 2-inch baits a lot though. You notice that? I'm definitely getting bites though. No shell crackers. Nope, we're not finding any of those guys. But yeah, picking a few fish here and there. This little paddle tail's getting bit, but maybe it's the wrong color. Ooh, I think that might have been my man, the bowfin there. How could it not be? This little real popular spot for him right here. A little bit of current to move him, keep him here too. I think he'd set up here just fine, just perfectly rather. Really liked how these things have been swimming though, I'll tell you that. Yeah, they're really perfectly. One thing I noticed though with the darker colors, getting less bowfin bites for sure. I might be getting less bites overall though. And I might not be realizing I set myself up for far fewer bites overall. Do a little pass with the gulps again. I mean, I think this is really what kayak fishing is kind of originally intended for, right? Come up in the swamps, see lots of different stuff, and there's swamps everywhere in the country, right? From Lake Champlain, which is on the Canadian border, they've got massive swampy areas with bowfin and pike. Through the Chesapeake, through Florida, it's all different in different zones, right? We're definitely a very bowfin heavy zone here. Like it or not, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool in small doses. But they definitely have their seasons and caps, right? That's what I could really tell. A lot of times when you want to fish them, they might not be the best, most conducive. Went to the gulp. Let's see what we got. Yeah, there we go. It's a lot like saltwater mangrove snapper fishing. Like fish are really, they take up prime residence. A lot of these fish. A straight corner, a little bit of current. These fish do that for sure. Then you get your other more opportunistic, random. It seems like the gar and the bowfin. No, they don't. Even something like bluegills, man. It's like, yeah, they're really in certain zones. The other ones, they're really hard to find scattered about. They're pretty much like bluegills were. At least a lot of these ones are back here. It's pick up the same zones the mangrove snappers do. That's what I see. You ain't catching them scattered about. I mean, anywhere there's a little bit of current, obviously, you're going to get a reason for a couple of these guys to stack up. So one thing I'm noticing, though, this 4-pound, these new braids, they're still not the best. Like, this is a 1/30th ounce jig. It seems like they're really good for like a 16th is really where they pick up their mojo. It seems like what this jig is a 30th ounce. I've got 4-pound braid on here and that 4-pound leader. The 2-pound fluoro seems to work with it better. It's not terrible. I can get away with this for sure. But at the end of the day, it does feel like it just can't really get the momentum to launch a 1/30th ounce jig very well. Yeah, like it's passable, right? Because you get all these new braids. They got all these 4-pound braids, these 6-pound braids, and these, this is a 4-pound test right here, leader, and yeah, some like the really light jigs still. It seems like these micro braids maybe they retain too much water, and they just can't launch anything. I mean, but they got their uses, right? It's really strong. I think the sweet spot is a 16th ounce jig. Like that seems to be 16th to 8th ounce with these micro braids is really where it seems like it's at. All right, I'm gonna float out of here now. I've got a few fish in here. Slow pick. Either way. Glad we're seeing some new stuff though. There's no magic. Like, you know, it's like, what, 4 miles? Probably in the last 3 months, about half a dozen people fished where I'm at today. So, not like it really, you know, fires off something if you're in a magic hole. A lot of it's seasonal, man. Seasonal stuff is really important. What season it is, right? Not seasoning. That's my dad jokes. But yeah, season. And June is like the start of like that tougher month. But the salt's going to be good, right? We got sheep's head. Drum bite's been pretty good too. But, you know, with salt, it feels like I don't, how should I say? There's less fish dispersion, right? You have to focus on so many spots, little zones where there's way more life overall. And that gets old, man. Because every boat knows that. Like, in freshwater, you can really... I mean, the only fish that really, like, offers the maximum dispersion is the flounder, southern flounder in saltwater. Give me that little rinker-dinker. Oh, yellow perch. Cool. Catching a few more of these this year, it seems like. You hear raccoon perch. I think South Carolina is the end of their range, though. Southern range and northern range, you know, Canada. They're more of a cold water fish overall, related to walleye, stuff like that. Tastes good, as you know. Seems like there's a lot of life here, man. Well, it could be mostly gar, and I don't know if it's some kind of bait hatch here, maybe. But yeah, saltwater, that's the thing that kind of, you know, yeah, you can pick reds in the grass, but you're going to catch a lot of flounder already this time of year. Then you start gut hooking them. Yeah, I'm sure I'll do one video by accident, getting some big flounder. But we'll see. I bet it's going to be, they announced our flounder season I saw when I read this morning. We're supposed to get 14 days this year, same as last year. The year before that, we had no flounder season. Maybe 1 year it was 30 days. So, you know, we got a 14-day flounder season again. Last year the fish was pretty good, you know. We'll see. Like some years we get a hurricane that really just dips on the shoreline and screws it all up for a long time. I think one of the things, oh, missed something there. I missed, it's just a long flounder season though. Here we go. What we got there? Bluegill. They're so cool when they get that red belly like that. Yeah, and you know, you might ask why don't I fill the freezer like a little more aggressively? A lot of these areas are just loaded with PFAS. There was a new study done on PFAS from the Lumber River, which is not a river I've fished a whole lot, but it's definitely within striking distance if I felt like I wanted to go there. Also loaded with PFAS. It seems like the PFAS stuff is a problem everywhere. It's like a lot, not everywhere, but a lot of places have this PFAS. It sucks, right? Because it looks like everywhere, it looks so beautiful in these environments. Then you're like, what? You can't eat the fish from here? You're like almost shocked. Or you shouldn't eat the fish, rather, you can do whatever you want. It's not recommended you eat the fish from here. Yeah, it's definitely like scattered life, that's for sure. No concentrations. I wonder if the flatheads get in these no current zones. I feel like they want to sit in current all the time. Maybe they don't. Don't know enough about flatheads. Yeah, this is all about 5 foot. There's not too much feature, you know, it's sloped bank, trees, you know, nothing huge here in that regard. Definitely like just a big flat where you pick a couple fish sporadically. Yeah, you see how this thing casts. It's not very precise. I was aiming for there, but it ends up going there. I was definitely aiming for a different zone. Yeah, like you have to really aim the right way to get that little stonefly land in the same zone, the right zone. I wonder what size those yellow perch have to be to start spawning. I know they're stunted in some places, but I wonder if there's a better population of like some 10 to, 10 inches isn't really that big of a yellow perch, but the 13, 14 inches, I don't think we have too many. Like you're really going to have to work for a 13 or 14 inch yellow perch around here. I think a couple bodies of water have them for sure, but I think for the most part, hard work. Bluegills and crappies, those are like the nice sized panfish. Red ears, there's other fish too, but like, yeah, those are definitely like a lot of nice sized bluegills. I think historically, whenever I read about the panfish fishery in North Carolina, at least the coastal panfish fishery, it was always the redbreast was historically the big one, but you know, that's been gone. Sounds like, or at least much more difficult to catch in the last 20 years or so. Okay, we've got a little largemouth. And everything, you really read the flatheads did the damage on them. But it seems like some places, I was seeing that, I think Albemarle Sound did some stocking. They've got some good size redbreasts now. So, definitely, good thing is a lot of these fisheries, they'll have their swings in 2-3 years. There's going to be a bounce back before you know it. Recovery is very quick. Saltwater, you know, you do a couple big things and changes in saltwater. Who knows if it's ever going to recover, right? At least, you know, some things recover a little bit, but like, yeah, it definitely seems to be harder to recover saltwater for some reason. I guess, you know, the fact it's not closed off, right? You have closed off fisheries that are, you know, 2-3 years, things can change and improve. And other things, it's like, no, you need really a lot of things to work in your favor to get them going. All right, I think we'll keep drifting down. Let's see what we got here. The screen is overheated. I love it. Technology. I'm trying to look how much I've been fishing already. How long? Definitely catch a lot of bluegills here, but I don't think you're going to catch any of those monsters like I did the other day. Those 10-inch ones, I don't think they get into these zones. I like that cover of that tidal, that green mat. Watch those guys in Florida, Kissimmee, I think Kissimmee? Absolute Suwannee is another one. Those guys have some fantastic looking panfish fisheries. Like with the growth they have on those places. It's not to say ours isn't good, it's just like, oh my goodness. Size, numbers. That's definitely like a bucket list panfish fishery. I don't know, I wonder if there's any really big bluegill fisheries up north. I definitely have pushed this down into his gullet. Come on, dude. These are little Berkeley forceps. They're pretty good for this sort of thing. So, yeah. Especially you got to extract that deep gullet of the bluegill. Seems like they bite even this time of year pretty well mid-morning. It's like mid-morning early. Early in the morning doesn't do you too many favors, it seems like. This really reminds me, these fish really remind me of how they fight like spadefish. The only thing is I don't like stoneflies, these gulp stoneflies, they're really fragile. target baits, they get bit. Gulp very recently had a phase of everything being on an absurdly discounted rate. I'd say, I don't know, less than a year ago, picking up a tub of Gulp for these little jars of Gulp for like $4. Yeah, really good value for the most part. This was not recently though. But somebody like, if you fish a lot, you stock up. You just know, you're like, all right, the Gulp stuff's on an insane sale. Time to stock up. Sometimes I wonder, yeah, with the sonar too, do you mark those turtles pretty often? I think you do, even with the regular 2D sonar. Knock on wood, this Lowrance unit here, like, people ask me sonar questions all the time. I'm not really a sonar nerd, honestly. I'm pretty bad at communicating that I just know how to do the basics of reading it. I don't mess with settings. You know, I have an upgrade. If it works, I want reliability, right? I fish a lot, you know, not really a gadget channel, right? I'm pretty much a fishing channel. I don't even know what I am anymore in terms of channel-wise, but like, I'm, you know, not a gadget channel, not at all. So, you know, Lowrance is on this Hobie Lynx. This one's like 5 years old now. It's a pretty good unit, I'd say. The Lowrance went through its long history of producing absolute garbage, though, for sure. And then, what is the other one? I've got a Humminbird on my Old Town, which has also been really solid. So I've had two really reliable units. I've had no desire to upgrade. First of all, the waypoints I have on them for different places in the country. Like, the last thing I want to do is, like, take all my waypoints from the Florida Keys, put it on a different thing. I'm just like, oh, that's so much work. I mean, a lot of it's public. Like, I don't have that many secret spots, but I do have a couple. Not many fisheries, but in the Florida Keys, I do have a couple of true, what I consider more than likely true secret spots. At least a couple of the grouper spots I found that are going to produce Kiva red grouper. I'd say those are kind of secrets to me, rather. Stuff within 2 miles. There is not that many secrets out there. You know, every mapping software has gotten absurdly good. Then obviously you have social media and trolling motors. So, you know, it's just not too much, I got a secret way to fish anymore stuff. Actually just checking the camera lens there too. Yeah, so that sucks. It's changed everything. There's no current here. I think I'm looking for a little more moving water. Seems like having something, a little something goes a long way. So we had, last time we fished the Blackwater, water was a foot lower. Like I said, I think this is my last trip. What happens, it's not that the fishing's, you know, it could get a little tougher for sure, but the heat of manually pedaling all day, it starts making it less enjoyable. As soon as you get the humidity and the temps in the mid-high 80s, yeah, like I said, you can definitely keep working it, but I'm kind of already, I tap out. And that's my range. And that's the other thing too, right? I'm on a manually powered kayak. That's one of the secret big reasons the electric kayaks are kind of good, for the fact that you're not exerting yourself, right? Oh no, almost went into that tree there. Right? The lack of exertion, big plus. Because that wears you down, man. All right, so I'm glad I saw some new stuff. I mean, I'm sure, like, you sitting at home, if you're watching still, you're like, this looks exactly like all the other Blackwater stuff. I'm in a different stretch. Further isn't necessarily better. Right? That's really it. It seems like more time of year, and just what happens with rainfall and stuff like that. These little laydowns are usually pretty good. You just gotta watch out for snakes. They might have another nice fish or two. So where I'm at today, I don't think any tide ever reaches at this location. Maybe a little bit. Definitely out of tidal reach. So how do you fish a big laydown? I like the up current side in general if it's mild. Down current's a little harder typically. I just try to guess where I'm not going to get hung to, and then the next thing I like to do is observe for snakes before I crash into anything. Because you're probably gonna slide your way into that. But yeah, you got to watch out for this snakes. And you could usually jig in somewhere under it a little bit. There we go. That's a better one. Big ones are going to be on those trees, though. I think this is what the copper nose bluegill. This strain here. They're really cool looking. Copper nose bluegill. Alright, let's see if there's any more there. They seem to only be like 2 or 3 in a tree. Same thing the other day. I was only catching like 1 or 2 spot, those big monster ones, and then I wouldn't get anything else after that. So you definitely claim residency. Maybe, like I said, different time of year. Yeah, maybe you can catch, a solid, half dozen on a good tree. It seems like that with the crappies here too. Like the crappies, you got a few, but it's not like it's very rarely loaded. 3 or 4 maybe at a time. I'm sure there's a couple more in there, but let's keep floating down. Not really getting the vibe. I know what's maybe to expect a little bit. But here's what's crazy, right? Last time we left off here, I had probably 5, 6 channel catfish bites by now. Yeah, just a week changes. Things change quickly. All right, I gotta take a quick bathroom break, and then we'll see what else we can do. One of the guys on my Patreon did tell me on these 13 fishing rods, the guides do rust out. So they're good value, but don't take them anywhere near the salt. I was like, okay, good. That was very, very good advice to get. Because I've been happy with them for sure. For sure. A lot of current right here, actually. This is a little trickier to fish than I thought. This is where I broke off a couple fish last time. Broke off one here, actually, a channel cat, a good sized one. I'm guessing it was a channel cat. Tomorrow, so after this, right? So I'm putting it out there, hard stop. This is the last ultralight trip till probably late September after flounder's done, kind of like last year. Let the water cool off, do its thing, and then get a little more pumped to cover some miles. So probably what's the next few months? Sheep's head, right? For sure. I gotta get better at jigging them. Did a couple of these dumb videos with those savage crabs, and well, I'll tell you the truth, I caught fish on them. Some really nice fish, so I'm gonna try to duplicate that for sure. And then what else am I gonna try to do? So I got the savage crabs, and I'll tell you what, surf fishing's been really slow. I've put 5 days in the surf, and what have you seen? Probably 0 videos. Surf is. I like to catch those pomps in the surf and put a lot of time in, but really slow, really, really slow. Slowest surf year I've had for the amount of time I've put in. Sucks, because that's not how I want to do it. Right? You want to put in time and eventually get some, but I got a couple decent whiting, some 14 and 15 inches, no pompano, and that's what I've been trying for. I don't know. That nourishment makes it really hard and unpredictable. I had a bite here. I was hoping to get maybe 1 or 2. This little side swamp, yeah. I could fish that, but I was hoping to get maybe a couple bites out here in a little bit of this current. What happens too is you get that rainfall, a little flux of current, and then kind of the swamps that were a little lousy got some fresh oxygen in them, and they're a little fishier than they might have been before. This water's real chocolatey. That was a bowfin rolling there. I wonder if you could pick up the boof on camera. It's like a drum beat when they roll. This is more like a pine needle area. This looks dirty, not dirtier, murkier here. I think the oxygen's real bad in here is my guess. There's no flow or moving water. Pine needles everywhere. It's like my quick judgment, right? When you pull into somewhere, like what feels off? That last cove had some flow coming through out of the swamps, I think. Not to say there's no flow in here, but this doesn't look good. My spidey senses say get out of this one, Elias. This is a quick warm-up cove, and this ain't where the fish really spend much time. Not this time of year. Might be getting proven wrong any second now, but I have a feeling. All right, as I go into some faster current, I think I'm going to take this guy off, sideline it for a minute, and maybe grab this guy. 132 ounce, or I think it's a 132. Try this down tree here. Seems like that's where those bigger brim have been. Here where there's the downed trees. There we go. I missed him. Had a bite there. I think one last cast here, and then we'll keep moving. We ate it that time. Small fish, and that's my favorite. When you get the catapult back to you. I actually straightened that out pretty easily. I think this is where we're doomed. Let's see. Well, it sucks when you miss a fish, right? That is one of those unpreventable tangles, right? The minute you get a bite and you go to set the hook lightly, and you miss them, and you just shoot it out of the water. All right, we got to retie and break off here, unfortunately, because create a little pretzel loop knot in there. Okay, I'm doing a 4-turn uni knot with this stuff. All right, followed it all the way in. Look like a little brim. Gosh. It's probably mostly the size of the fish here. You know, I'm trying to hunt and peck. See if I can get any better ones. Drifting along this wooded ledge. I mean, they're fast swimmers overall too. Like, you don't have to like pause and wait too often, right? All right, this is where I think we're gonna start covering more water a little more aggressively. This last week had spawning fish all over it. Nothing here going on this week. Crazy, right? A lot more current today, though. You know, everything's in zones of current for sure. Preferring it, it seems like. A lot of the fish here seem very aggressive, though. If you drop it in their holes, that's for sure. It's crazy how many fewer bowfin and stuff like that there's around now. Like, I didn't get one. I think maybe I saw one today. Okay. This looks so good. I've been through here like 3 times, and I'm always like, this should be like loaded with fish, and it just doesn't seem to hold much right in this little stretch here. I don't know why. I always assume I'm going to catch a lot right here, but nope. Well, was the 3.5 mile paddle worth it? It was definitely worth it to see everything. From a fishing standpoint, nah, wouldn't say so. Probably won't do that pedal again, though. Is my guess. Oh no, what did I do there? Got back. Oh no, I knocked over my tub of gulp. When did I do that? Did you notice me do that? All I know is I did do it. All right, let's use them. Use them or lose them. These baits do they kind of dry up if you leave them in the sun. That's bad. I hope that's not a bowfin. Old ruddy bowfin. Nope, it's not. Bluegill. Nice one. This one got T-boned by a gar. Look at that. must have been freaking smashed by a gar at some point. Looked like a gar or bowfin. Absolutely something went. It's a good size one too, man. Tough place to make it, right? I'm gonna do that drift one more time. Those were a couple decent sized panfish either way. I see a gar on this flat. Yeah, a little gar. You know, what's funny is I usually don't get too many second chances at fish though as I come back up for another drift. There's some buzzing things here. And the brim here are feisty and biting. Another one with a freaking sore on him. I mean, between the gar, flatheads, turtles, like, yeah, fish get beat up here. They don't have a long, easy life. Well, you know what? You saw it. You saw it. Like, a lot of them can adapt. It's also really interesting in itself, right? Get blown around this river current at night. Oh man, they're probably just getting dinged in all directions by all sorts of fish, right? All right, give me a minute, guys. We got another mile and change run to the next spot. So let's power off, stretch our legs. I'll see you there. Okay, came through here last week. Caught fish. What should we throw here? I think we're gonna throw the same stuff I've been working. The best part about these gulps is they don't bleed colors into each other like most other soft plastics. And I think the scents are the same. They're the same for at least 90% of them, if there are any differences. All right, let's see what we got in here. Just had some crappies last week. Different water level, different flow, different, I don't know. It's my nursery rhyme. Different water level, different flow, different, I don't know. Okay. Nice, got a tree right away. I'll be here all night for that. Good. And we had some crappies here. I got a little bit of water movement here too, so work this for a minute. Pretty far off the mark there. A little gar swimming around here. No bites there. See a bowfin. God, they're so freaky the way they swim. They got like this. This curl on them. I lost a bluegill there. I'm just too enamored watching that bowfin swim. Like yeah, that top fin, like wild what it does. Yeah, that bluegill ate the gulp right away though. All right, crappies are not here. I'm here to report that they have potentially changed their location because you know what? You got flow. They might have dipped out of this swamp or might have moved into a different part of it. Charging my kayak. Oh, there they are. Crappie for dinner. If you want them, come and get them. It's one I could keep. I'm gonna let him go today. He's got a little scar on his back. I mean, I would say he didn't move very far. Not seeing too much in this cove though. All right, I'm leaning towards. Let's keep moving. I'm losing this jig, I think. Boo. Alright, well, we got other stuff, so that's good at least. Let's put this on right now. Quick little band-aid. I want to tie onto it, that was the question. Stonefly again then. Another decent one. Getting down to the more, I guess, 9 to 10 inch size this time of year. Might have to keep this guy. Let's see. If he starts bleeding, I'm keeping him. Definitely inhaled that little stonefly pretty deep. Yeah, we're going to keep him. I honestly can't remember the last time I got hooked to one of these things. But today I obviously did. I don't think there's a minimum size here, but if it is, it's 9 inches. So let's just make sure. Yeah, he's over to about 10 and a half. Seems to be the dominant size for right now. Alright, that's okay. Nine and a half. So 10 and a half. So it was 10 and a half. Yeah, 10 and a half is not that bad. 9 is definitely the minimum size. If there is, I don't think there is. Yeah, this little bait's sick. Great way to go fishing though, man. We'll try it. These freaking flies. Giant horse flies all over me right now. Alright. 2 crappies here and 1 bluegill we've dropped and a horsefly that's gonna make me jump out of my kayak if it keeps doing that. I could try a risky cast. You want to see one risky cast? I'm going to cast a little bit further up into there. See if there's anything. I bet you I'm going to hang up. Maybe not. Our last cast here. Last time I caught a few fish here, I remember. Current's a little faster today though. So where they're going to be seems like, yeah, that changes based on the current velocity. Probably down here a little bit further. That's like peak current right there. Still can't believe I didn't pick up a shell cracker anywhere yet. It feels like a nice fish. I'll feel giant on these little goofy rods, right? Pretty good bluegill. I think in most places, bluegill that size, about 8 inches, is a good one. Definitely got some gar bubbles under me. Bowfin or gar, one of those two. Maybe the bluegill's also staying more current than the shell crackers. I don't know. Or just, yeah, shell crackers ain't gonna eat gulp this time of year. Missed one. Seems like there's a few fish there. Oh, there's one. You're biting pretty good. Oh, that one's gonna keep my gulp, I think. Good thing about gulp is it's biodegradable and non-toxic. From what I read, you know, not sure how true that is, but oh, I got it back actually. I think these fish get way worse than a gulp in their stomach. 3 bluegills out of that hole. That's pretty good. A lot of fish over there, man. Definitely the biggest concentration I found today. Pausing on the bottom. They'll also eat it like that. I'm going to tell you the truth, though. They're a little trickier than you think, man. Just like everything. Mangrove snappers. I mean, the first aggressive strike of a fish in a pack is always kind of the easiest. But after you get them to settle in a little bit, you're like, oh, man. These fish aren't that easy, necessarily. Every moment of it, rather. That fish kind of hit right under my kayak, I'd say. But I'm going to keep drifting. There's definitely fewer of them now. This looks like a zone where there's going to be red breasts, right? They like that white sand. They don't like the swift, nasty bottom. The muck. That's a fish. Nice sized fish, whatever this is. Oh, big bluegill. A little dark one, huh? Look at that one. He's got some cool tats on him. Big difference than the other ones, right? These are blended into the trees, into that canopy really well. Another one that's got that injury, though. That's a nice one, though. Oh, goodness. Just dropped a bunch of gulp all over myself there. Oh, man, how this guy managed to swallow that? Okay, good. I was like, this little tiny guy's going to swallow it that deep? Well, if we wanted fish to keep, we probably had, I don't know, 3 or 4 bluegills worth keeping, 2 crappie. So from a keeping fish standpoint, we had a pretty decent day. Definitely would have had enough to feed a few people, right, for a shore lunch or something like that. Day's not over yet, though. Got a little bit more to fish on the way home. All right, keep going. A little bite here and there. Just coming through some different areas. Yeah, real trophy class there. Be funny challenge for me though in the summer. Can you catch a doormat flounder on a live bluegill? Those bluegills won't survive very long in salt water, but the flounder can go into some pretty brackish areas for a certain amount of time. And these little bluegills are everywhere up here. These are all... Oh, that might be something better. We need our first bowfin of the day to show up, right? He should show up now. Nope. These brim bite really well midday. I guess that's always a nice little bonus about them, is that they'll cooperate middle of the day, no issues. Probably until it gets really hot, but right now, being in the, what is it, 74, which is really actually kind of cool for June. Well, they're biting. Just need a little bit of current and they're going to bite. I'm using a 1/64 ounce jig now. You know, old timers always tell me you gotta fish where you see those mussels on the bank. Look at the shells. That's where the otters in the middle of the night, raccoons, all those critters go hard. At night especially. Oops. Getting some bad casts in now though. So you sometimes see like little bit patches of mussels on the bank. That's where there's gonna be some fish. It seems to be true. Not that time though. Seems like after 6 feet though, you're not finding them very consistently. Like any bank that's, 6 foot. I guess too many predators down there. Well, gonna lose our jig there. Maybe not. Could see it on this little log here. I managed to pick up on the corner. Here we go, got it back. Sweet. This kayak with the fins, I think it only draws like a foot. It's very little. So, in terms of like seeing logs and still not smacking them, yeah, you don't need much clearance. The ride home is nice. It's nice to not be sweating and fighting, heavy current, nothing like that. You take a nice lazy river back home. What is it? It's a little faster than you'd think. Maybe a little over 1.5 miles an hour tops. I'm still shocked we haven't gotten that red breast sunfish or one of the things that always mystifies me too is that freshwater, when you don't catch a fish, right? It's not like he went anywhere. So you are greeted with true fish that do not bite very frequently. Like in the ocean, yeah, it's so big, it migrates where to go. Sometimes in places like this, you're like, no, there's not that many zones for these things to go. At least what I tell myself, right? Sure, some fish are more adaptable than others where they can go, but you're like, well, I caught like hundreds of them one day, and then I didn't catch a single one for 6 weeks. Did they go somewhere, or were they just like sitting there not eating? I think they just don't eat. That's my take, really. Like even stuff like warmouth, right? Where's the warmouth? I also sometimes wonder, like when I do get bit, like is that a school of like 30 fish that decided to jump on my jig, or was it just a single one? I highly doubt it's just one. I feel like these fish though, they're in packs of like 6, 7 at least. The isolated solo ones don't bite. This is gonna be the last drift of the day. Work this bank. It's about 4 or 5 feet the whole way down. See if it's got anything. It's kind of straight, so we'll see. A little bit of curvatures are usually good, but water's moving pretty good. Should be a batch of life somewhere here. There we go. Ooh. What's that fish there? Gill. Got that power bait trilobite on now. I'm all about the power baits and the gulps. That's it. Berkeley shill. Shilling away. For my ultralight, you can't beat a Berkeley product, man. I mean, they got other things too, right? Ooh, there's one too. Oh no, I had a stick. got back. Old stickfish got me there. You know what I'm amazed I don't catch ever too is somebody's old line there actually. Pickerel. I thought there would be a good class of them around in here. This looks like a good pickerel environment. Jackfish, whatever you want to call them. I don't catch pickerel hardly ever. Just one bluegill bite there actually. It's floating down here. I thought I was gonna start picking them pretty steady. Oh, it's a dead spider. See it? Cool. Freaky actually. Caught a big crappie here a week ago. Let's see if we can get one here. Ooh, got something there. Doesn't feel very big. Oh, it is something decent. All right. Nice one. He was right up on that tree too. That's it. Oh, you get like one bite and then the rest of them just turn off. They know. They get probably enough pressure. Maybe the kayak spooks them too. This little blues custom light, it's going pretty good. It's coming up over a year. This is the 100 size. All right, it's getting close to that time, I'd say. Time to hit the old dusty trail. Gotta let my dog out. Hang out with my doodle. Yeah, I got a doodle. I know. But Tulip's a cute little Labradoodle, friend of ours, bred Tulip the pup. She's 4 years old. It's my first dog owning as an adult, and it had its challenges, but man, awesome little animal. Really love Tulip the pup. If only she knew. She would love to be on an adventure out here, but you get worried about putting a dog on a kayak around alligators. It's just not my... I mean, it's so unlikely around here, but you never know, man. I would never live with myself. Right? She had a pretty bad cut on her paw in the palm section I'd say last 2 weeks ago. I don't even know. It looked like an oyster gash if you've ever gotten cut by an oyster. Like I got a nasty scar right here from an oyster. And she got like gash pretty bad. Probably maybe the patio in the backyard. I don't know. Expensive owning a dog though. Yeah. Emergency room visits are minimum, $300-400 minimum. Probably more usually. And then yeah, when you get, little boo-boos like that, you gotta bring them in. And now she's been home all day. She can't play and run around in the yard, so she needs a little extra attention to be a happy doggo. So let's make one last drop. We got a lot of fish today though. I can't complain about that. This thing's pretty cool looking too. Bad cast, man. Cast sucks. I'm a terrible caster. A lot of scattered fish, that's for sure. Oh, I missed that guy. Yeah, it seems like 2 to 3 feet is really... After as soon as you're really like just not seeing bottom anymore, you got enough depth for fish. I wish the weather was like this in the summer more frequently though. We just don't get too many long periods of mild summer weather. It just cranks up in southwest. We don't get any north wind. It wouldn't be unlikely from what is today, like June 3rd. It won't be that unusual for like there not to be a single day of any kind of north wind again and dry coolness till late July, even into August. Sometimes a storm when it gets close, it sends a different weather pattern right after. Like if we get a tropical storm that gets close to the coast, you get some northeast winds right after. That's always a nice little break. But yeah, for the most part, you're in it. Had a lot of good days. Pretty good days, interesting days. I'm glad I did the ultralight thing instead of trying to scrap together something in the salt though. I learned more doing this than, sheep's head, savage gear crab, sheep's head, fuzzy dice, seeing more bodies of water. Well, not going to gain too much extra new knowledge going through salt water right now. Maybe where more red drum are, but feel like I've got enough red drum spots for myself till the end of time. Bluegills stacked in like the little tighter zones though, for sure. Like they seem to like pinning themselves into some wacky nooks and crannies right now. Nooks. A brim nook. Hey, easy being a brim. That's for sure. Found a hole here too. Oh no, I think I fished here the other time. Straight to jail. Got 3 crappie for the day. Definitely over a dozen and change bluegills. Most of them, medium size. Not too many real dinks, but no giants either. I'm guessing the biggest one might have been like a 9-incher or so. But getting better at ultralight fishing, ultralight tackle, learning it all. What lures work well. Those Gulp stoneflies worked really well today. This little thing I'm using now is not. It ain't killing it, that's for sure. But that stonefly definitely has some of the right stuff, I think, for these fish. Not a single red breast, not a single red ear. And it's not like the temps are that hot. Water is 74, 75. But maybe it's more about time of year than water temperatures too sometimes. Hey, there we go. Please don't be the bowfin. This cool guy's towing me away in some of this current here. That's a better one of these guys. Yeah, you want to catch those bigger brim fish under their logs, huh? Seems to be my final. How about that kind of moment? Just want to measure one. And this is one of the nicer ones of the day. All right, that's a 9-incher. Seems like you got the 9s here for sure. Not too many, but there's enough. No more 10 and 11s. Oh man, I can't believe I got a 10.5 the other day. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. Used a bunch of different things today. Seemed like the stoneflies worked the best. The Gulp, as usual. All the other stuff caught fish, but it seemed like that was the only thing that was like really getting a lot of bites. Decent quality fish today. Yesterday I had the biggest fish, shortest day, but least amount of fish. And it was probably middle of the cold front, so I still had a pretty good time. So I'm gonna get home right now, guys. I'll see you on the, I think, cardinal right there. I'll see you, that's a red robin. Putting a good amount of time in to get the most action, but also learn and explore. Thanks for joining me. I'm passionate about being out here. All right, and seeing new stuff. Doesn't matter if the fish are this big or a little bit of a comparison day today. So we're doing a couple of these uncut ones. Is it going to be a day for the worms, or is it going to be a day for the creature baits? I didn't fish worms much as a kid, so learning that as an adult is kind of interesting. And then I did a little bit of a comparison. I fished stuff like shrimps today. Just odder baits that I haven't fished much. not odd baits for many anglers, but for me, I haven't fished shrimp lures, too many creature baits, and I've never really fished night crawlers much in freshwater. So, yeah, it's kind of a weird one. We'll keep a lot of this unedited, and I wrapped up the first part of today, but tomorrow I'm going to try for a flathead cat and try to expand the skill set. So, action-packed day, and I'm going to keep it as entertaining as I can. Plenty of goober moments up in here too, so I'll give you a little bit of a rewind. I'm out here in 14 feet. Got my first bite. All right, we're getting started with the fish. That's all I know. Bass. It's a bass. That's okay. Gonna work this hellgrammite today. Got some other plans for you today, but you ever fish these things? They're hellgrammite lures. River fishing's been pretty good. Most fishing's been pretty good now, so I'm about to get started here. Gonna do a little bit of a combination. I think we're just gonna wing it. We're gonna try to catch as many types of fish as possible today. I think that's the main goal. I've got worms with me. I've got my catfish setups with me. I had my hellgrammite lures tied on to start with. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on some deeper water fish too, I think, a little bit today. So we'll do probably mostly jigging, I think, and kind of picked up where we left off on the last 4-hour uncut. Just got myself over, into those zones I had to leave because the freaking wind kicked up. And I got a nice, unusual June morning where it's, really nice and cool. So I picked this really, I just said I remember where I was last time I left and had to go home, and I think this might work out. Whoa. And I've got so many lures at home that I don't fish with. One of them being this hellgrammite lure that had some pretty good luck on. Oh, that's actually a pretty nice fish, man. I'm glad you're with me on this one. I ain't no ditch pickle expert, but you don't gotta twist my arm too much to get going. All right, pickle. Okay. See, man, I don't fish too many creature baits, so being on the coastal plain here, it's a lot of it's the shad profiles and the paddle tails. So trying some new profiles today. Let's see what really works well in the coastal zones. Like I said, that was this is a Euro tackle hellgrammite. I've got it on little Z-Man jig head. See how tough they're going to be for these fish here, but this is a pretty good start. Do have a little bit of intel from last week. The last time I fished here, I ended my day here, so I'll just jump right back into it. And got my bag of ice. I got some worms today too. Maybe we'll find some different fish on worms. I'm a open-minded angler on this regard. But yeah, 13 feet of water. We're gonna fish probably, I'm guessing most of the fishing today is gonna happen 10 to 20 foot, maybe a little shallower. We're getting into summer temps, but we're just almost there into some summertime slowdowns, I bet. Yeah, I'm just bouncing this on the bottom. I seem to have brought in a few fish into this zone after releasing that one. So I'm just drifting and bouncing. That's what I'll do. See how many bites I get doing that. We had one other bite there we just missed, so there we go. White perch, or is that another bass? Oh no, look who showed up in the mix there. Channel cat. Oh man. The small ones are going to be the ones that spike you for the most part, and he kind of twisted up and kind of ruined this bait. channel cat. A lot of channel cats for me. I'm on a hot channel cat streak. And that slime, I've read and been told in the comment section, if you get this catfish slime after you catch one, you want to get it off your line with your finger. It's hard to get off, like you're really struggling. Okay, let's see what we got in the box behind us here. I got more of these things. We loaded up with some catfish gear for the day, some clips, seaman larva. This is what I was using. Let me use these first, and then you can play around. I can throw worms on too, but let's keep it sporty. Let's keep the knowledge coming through. It's a popular brand with the ultralight crowd, and I know I'm going to turn that into my whole personality, right? I do 5 ultralight trips a year. Now I'm all about it, right? It is a fun way to fish. I'm having so much fun, like being a kid again, learning all these new, playing with stuff that I never got too much. All right, that looks pretty good to me. A little hard to rig this stuff when you're bouncing around on the water, etc. But yeah, I'm gonna just stick to this zone, drop back down to the bottom. Same setup from last video. We got the 4-pound test here. The question is, do you look for fish? Or like I just had that one fish that released. See like 1 or 2 marks on my sonar. So I'm really hyper focusing on that. It's a pretty cool start though. 2 fish back to back. There's some shallow spots that might be beds. I'm gonna stick to, you know, for now, what I found life in. Take it from there. Maybe I gotta be quiet too. A little bit of patience goes a long way though when it comes to jigging. Sometimes fish just bite like that instantly. They're like, all right, I'm gonna eat that. Sometimes they'll take their time for sure. It's been a nice couple weeks in late May. Hopefully June's gonna be pretty good. I don't know how fishing's been by you. I think last time we talked a little bit, but a couple people said that, you know, it sucked in May, and I kind of agree. Early May, April, all these months weren't very good. Now it seems like things are a little bit better. I'm more bummed out I didn't get a bite there, but a couple fish were a little too alert to my presence, perhaps. I'm going to cast around a little bit too here. It seems like there is some little lively zone for me to work. I see a little bit of a shoal up there. I can make some casts up there. I can tell there's some clearer water and shallower water, rather. Like that guessing game. Not seeing too much here. A little bit of life showing up on my sonar randomly. This water is really clear. Lack of rain. Some areas have been crazy clear, so you're not seeing too much. Things are a little bit less aggressive because of the clarity, I would say. It's nice to fish in clear water. This year has been really enjoyable for that reason too. We got a lot of clear water to fish around here. I think it's a 1/10 ounce jig head, so hits bottom, kind of bounce it around a little bit, see what happens. 2 bites right off the bat. Now things quieted down. That's what it is. All right, let's take a look. Guess I picked up on a hot zone from the other day. Summer bass fishing too is not really my knowledge, right? You are joining me on some brand new fishing too. Like when was the last time I went? You know, did a lot of this stuff in June. They can see that shadow of my kayak though. There's no doubt about it. Like I'm just looking down right now. Goodness, there's a lot of fish right here though. Just doing a little more drifting. I don't want to give up on just drifting around and jigging quite yet, but there's carp too, right? Surface activity's there. That's good. Seeing a lot of fish on my sonar. Hate to be the sonar guy, but it's definitely looking pretty lively there. Did I get a bite? Nope. Found a tree. Alright. Definitely a tree. I'm definitely seeing a lot of life out here. I'm going to try maybe just a little bit more of a stealthier profile here. This is a little Z-Man larvas. It's called Larvaz. I haven't had action for an hour. I turned on the camera, then nothing happened after that. So let's see, maybe that profile I started with, maybe it's not the right call. Maybe this is going to be the right call. And we got to go to the worms. Alright, so we had a little funsies with that stuff. I'm going to try, I think I'm going to go just to like a 1/30th ounce jig, something like that, little mushroom shaped jig, right? And let's get Finesse-y, right? It's gonna be the star of the show today. A little night crawler. And I'm just gonna, gosh, this is as simple as it gets, right? Just taking one of these guys and going right through. Gosh, stop wiggling on me. This little jig head here. There's a fancy jig head for fancy folk. Like that. Alright, let's find some fish. Shouldn't be too hard. Alright, I don't know what this is. Looks like a tree, but could be fish. That looks like a tree, actually. I should be really careful dropping right into that. 9-10 feet. I have not done enough worm fishing in my life. I honestly have to admit this. I am 39 years old, and the worm fishing I have done has been marginal at best. I feel like everyone needs to do some worm fishing every now and then. Get the most out of life that way. See what you catch on the worms. Looks like there's a lot of fish here. I don't know what these are, but I'm gonna find out. I know that. All fish eat worms, right? That's what I think. Just a little dangle on the bottom. I'm gonna let it sit there. Dang. Ran over a fish that didn't eat any worms. I think that is. Okay, give him the worm dangle. I think I got a largemouth bass. Pickle. Big pickle. Okay. That's all right. You knew these guys would show up. Like a little worm action. It's crazy. I used the tiniest piece of night crawler there for that guy. Nice sized pickle there. Oh, I think we gotta let him go, obviously. Wow, let's go. You know, one thing in life just never got to do. Some good old worm fishing. Does feel a little weird catching those things on a worm, though. Not gonna lie. All right, we got a big largemouth on a worm. Just try and dangle around these trees a little bit, see what we get. Sure, I could get more largemouth. I'm sure I'll find them. No brim here. All right, I'm working my way into this cove here. I'm trying to find some beds, right? Throw these worms at. I'm coming up kind of short. I know there's a few somewhere here. 16 feet here. All right, there we go. I see some life too, so I'm gonna cast up shallower, roll my worms off that stuff, see what happens. I feel like 10 foot, yeah, that's a good depth. 10, 12, some small bites, all right. You got some bait, that's already good too. It's probably a fair amount of, yeah. This looks like where there'd be beds. I don't want to get too close to it though. The water is clear. This is definitely the murkiest water I've seen so far around here though. So that's good, that's a good thing. I don't think too many fish would bed in the ultra clear stuff. Maybe. We'll keep pushing into the murkier water then. We're not quite at summer stagnation temps. Definitely way before that, but let's see. I don't see much. I'm like looking around, trying to maybe snipe a fish out or something like that. Might be a mullet or two somewhere here, but I'm not seeing much on the, yeah, this other fish category. Maybe I gotta bump it out a little deeper, 15 feet. What I'm doing here is I'm just casting from the transition, shallow to deep, then tight lead. It's not that tight. It's actually pretty sloped. Slopes pretty nicely here, but I'm trying to find some life that wants to eat a worm. And honestly, I'm not finding anything. Ooh. Oh yeah, look at that channel cat. My lucky day. They said fish worms, so it'll be a blast. That's not that bad though. Okay, get in this net. Cat daddy. Cute cat. Oh man, got worms from the water too. Okay, so what do we got there? Another channel cat. That was a night crawler. Red worm, rather. Picked these up from my local guy. So let's see. Do I see any beds? I see a couple largemouth. Not much bedding action back here, though. Still gonna focus on like 7 to 10 feet. I didn't think I'd get a channel cat, but they are opportunists and they'll be anywhere. So there's probably some kind of food nearby for them then. That's my next guess. Just trying to be really quiet. Might have found the catfish spawning spot. Depends on your perspective. This could be a largemouth. I'm going with a channel cat again. Yeah, another channel cat. I wonder if that means I'm fishing too deep or what. Well, use this for the experience of you catch a lot of catfish on bait. That's all I'm thinking after this right now. I don't do much of the bait fishing, and that's what you're going to catch on bait. Okay, I think that's probably what I missed the first time. Second time came back and ate it. Shell cats aren't too bad to eat, but I'm kind of looking for a couple shell crackers where those, 9-10 inch bluegills might be doing their thing right now. Only keep a couple catfish a year. You go around, you see like health advisories on catfish. I mean, sometimes, yeah, it could be an over precaution, but in general, the thing is, you eat a good amount of fish to begin with, you're probably like, why bother, per se. But I guess the catfish are general opportunists. They like a good cove. It's relaxing back here, though. 2 cats. Oh, we got that slime back on us too. Probably thinking, how the mighty have fallen. He's going for channel cats. Not really end goal in channel cats here, man. I'm fishing areas I just don't fish much, and doing worms and looking for new types of fish I've never really caught too many of. So that's the goal. How it happens, well, I can't say it's going to be the prettiest of pictures, but I think we'll just catch pretty steady fish at least. Steady enough, rather. So this is the type of environment that looks like to me, it probably doesn't hold too many fish, but I bet it might hold the giant. Definitely thought I'd see some carp here too. These definitely look like bedding zones though, you're right. 12, 15 feet. All I got shallow with channel cats so far. Seems like anything that looks good has got largemouth and not much else. And now I'm just like kind of floating around them. I'm just like contour changes looking for something else, but it seems like it's all... Got him. I got a bunch of small, tiny yellow perch. I could use him for bait. I'll let him go though. I feel bad. I feel bad using him. All right. Bite to bite though, sometimes. Could use him for bait though. Yellow perch are legal bait here. White perch are too. I just can't transfer them to other bodies of water. It looks like there's a few fish out in these coves here. All right, let's grab some bait. See what else I could do after, grabbing a few perch maybe. See what else bites here. Those look like small fish mostly though. Everything that kind of swam up to my kayak just now. That's a bass. All right. Please no more catfish action. Goodness, you fish with worms, you really get a lot of catfish, don't you? I've never done that. A lot of catfish, okay. I'm surprised I haven't gotten any of these carp or other fish though. Next worm. Dangle the worms. I don't think you'll catch, I wonder if you can catch the mullet on worms. I don't think mullet, cob mullet really eat worms too much. It won't blow me away if you do get one or two of them on that. Okay, drop these worms down 14 feet. I'm going to work these softer ledges then. There's got to be a few fish for me to catch somewhere here. See gar up top doing something funny. Beautiful day to be out here though. Boy, these are some small fish biting me there. All right, let's keep moving. These crystal clear bodies of water are hard. Hey, there you go. Our bass. Catching a lot of worms, bass on the worms, that's for sure. That fish was down in 20 feet. That was a deep one. Damn, look at this tree here. All right, so I haven't done much worm fishing in my life. It's actually harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought I'd be pulling on fish left and right with this. And I seem to have found excellent channel catfishing. I'm making a couple more moves now. New sandbars, new zones. You would think the freaking brim would be all over it. Maybe they're having hard. I'm amazed at the difficulty I have sometimes with certain types of fish. Not all the time, but sometimes. There's also a lot of gar here, and the gar, I feel like the gar are pecking at this thing, and then I miss them. The gar are a mess to try to hook and figure out. Got a boatload of gar under me right now, I believe. Split my day into two, night crawlers and gulp. I don't know. Still a few fish there. Oh, I think these are all bass though. Yeah. Catfish. Okay. Popped him off. That's all right. Just going for the swing, but that didn't work out. That's okay too, though. All right, we found a lot of fish here. Are these all channel cats, though? I think it's another channel cat. Why does it say recording? Sorry, my camera's giving me some weird error message. This is a much larger fish. What is going on here? Hang on. Hopefully I didn't jack this all up now. Summer heat. Hopefully I'll have a major issue with our SD card here, because I'm in a battle of a lifetime with this 4-pound test. Still haven't seen him. Big channel cat, yeah. Gonna switch out this battery. I don't know why it's overheating on me here. Got a largemouth swimming at me here. Pretty curious of the kayak. But I'm not seeing anything besides largemouth, man. Largemouth and now this channel cat. Which gave me a good battle on 4-pound, man. Catman. So device overheated. I hope that comes through here. All right, let's switch out some batteries and see if we can figure that all out. Oh man, I'm sure you didn't sign up for this, but reality, huh? Pretty crazy though. That's a good one actually. Let's switch out some camera batteries, figure this out. Oh gosh, he ate it right at the kayak. I saw something just come right up. It's messing with getting all my gear ready. Pulled them out. That's all right. All right, things are picking up now. Really slow start. Never know, those midday bites just kind of sometimes happen, huh? I mean, I've seen beds here a few times, so I'm like, where are they? I mean, where are the bass, rather? Not the bass, the panfish, right? Crappies. I'm gonna work this little spot one more time. I feel like it might be one or two more fish here somewhere. And this little zone's got the channel cats. It's got a lot. So the night crawlers, right? What do I think of this now? So I spent 3-4 hours on night crawlers. It seems like they definitely catch a lot of fish. I don't know. I got a mixed feeling after this, man. How I feel about them. This is like the first time I've ever really fished with them for a long time. So I'm like, it seems like some fish really like them immediately. They attract big quantities of life quickly. I noticed that too. But I don't know if I'm too crazy about, you know, like I would have thought for sure they'd attract white perch and crappies and bluegills. But I'm like seeing it. I'm like, I'm going to switch over. I'm going to go back into some murkier water. It seems like this is all catfish, all largemouth bass. I think I saw a couple white perch fall and one yellow perch. And that's it. And that was kind of that murkier water. So I think the murky water is where I'm going to go. And I'll give it another try. But I think I want to switch over to get some action going, man. This is like kind of a snooze fest, right? I wouldn't say total snooze fest, but some of those largemouth were absurdly aggressive, though. Fished those night crawlers for a little while there. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm super disappointed in that. Definitely fish were caught. The less small stuff than I thought I'd be catching. I thought I'd be pretty much catching a lot of bluegill, a lot of perch. All I caught on them for the most part was largemouth bass and channel cats. Oh man, yeah, I did it as a little bit as a kid, but it's like fishing worms the last 20 years. It's probably been less than 10 times, so that was interesting. I did a little bit this spring actually too, but just seeing that was like, that's a tough thing to do. I'm gonna get back into that murkier water and then work my way through some other areas, and I'm gonna start fishing lures and let's get some action going. I think I could probably just have a bunch of fish at least though. So that's the next move here. So hang on, it's gonna take me 20-30 minutes. All right, took the kayak off my body for a minute here. I hope that's okay. I know the forward facing angle is a little bit more enjoyable, but sometimes it's just nice to fish like this a little bit. What other creature bait should we try? Started, I think I'm gonna use, got these guys, some of these Gulp tadpoles. Definitely got a big assortment of Gulp baits to try today. Oh my god, that Gulp tub is 90 degrees. Never too late to learn, right? You know, fish are artificial all the time. I might just be so set in my ways as an angler. There is definitely like a little theory, I wouldn't say I have, but there's definitely, you can become set in your ways. Everything in life, right? Fishing, you just do it repetitiously so much, and there's only so many types of fishing you can master, right? And you're gonna be good at a couple things probably if you fish a lot, but you can't be good at everything. So knowing exactly where to place a worm, you might not necessarily be great at it. Where to throw my little 2-inch curly tail, maybe that's just my life's calling. Well, it's never too late to change and learn new things, but also, you know, you can always back off after you really try something. That was the minimal today, right? I tried just throwing those tails around a little bit. Some mullet jumping, I don't know if that came out on camera. Bait too, I see it's a good amount of bait here too. "10 feet of water I'm going to start in. Should get more action on these jigs. Thing is also, I feel like with the worms I'm fishing slower. That makes sense? Because I'm like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I have this habit of, if I use bait, I want to wait for a bite. While a jig, I'm really working aggressively and looking for a reaction to eat, right? More than anything. This might be really slow too, man. I might just have hit the point in the season where it's, you know, somewhere mid-June, freshwater just gets kind of tough in North Carolina, at least on the coast. There's still bites that happen and midday things, but like overall fishing starts to change for sure around that point. I don't think we're quite there yet, especially with the colder winter, but there's going to be a point where I'm going to be like, it's just not worth it anymore. All right. This might be the last, you know, kind of trip on that end, especially with lack of rain. At some point, right, you do want rain, right? I like lack of rain for chunks, because, you know, you'll get some good bites that fire off as you hit like low water periods, it seems like. But after a sustained amount for like months of low water, yeah, I think that there's something happens and the fishing sucks. It does start to suck. We might be there now. All right, I'm coming around here. Last time we came here, we picked some fish here. Didn't get a bite here. Not yet, at least. Pretty day out here. 10 out of 10 for weather, though. That's for sure. My goal is to get a flounder somewhere here. I think it could happen. I really do. I don't know how easy it's going to be. It might not be that easy, but I do think it can happen. Got a bunch of fish under my kayak here. Don't know what they are, but let me just jig on them. Showed up. Do like the murkier water better, though. For summertime, especially, you know, shallow water fishing. Carp and mullet, okay. What's really fun? Okay, it's not too bad. White perch. "10-incher, 11-incher. If we were hungry, we'd eat them. Only got room in that cooler for 3-4 fish. Gonna wait till it's maybe a gut hooker or just something really nice, you know. That's kind of where my brain's at on that. Maybe if I gut hook something. Oh gosh, when that gulp juice, it ever gets that warm, oh, God, oh, it feels just disgusting when you dip your finger in there. That's kind of hilarious though. I just grabbed it. I was like, oh, feels like I touched some kind of like toxic chemical. What other baits? I could go back to that Helgramite too. That thing seemed to work pretty good when I got started this morning. It's a nice upgrade from where I was, right, recently. Yeah, not much doing. A lot of fish under me here. Let's see. I like this little gulp tadpole. I think it's called a gulp tadpole. Seems like they're eating that pretty regularly right now. Yeah, seems like it. That slow drop on a calm day, man. That's important. I'm telling you, you really want that when it's calm out. Because when it's calm, those fish, they get moody. I mean, you never know. You can definitely use a heavier and profile sometimes, but when it's really calm out, I just like that really slow descend down with whatever I'm throwing. Not every fish it matters, but sometimes, yeah, perch. Oh, there's a bunch of them just stacked there, aren't there? Feels like a nice one. Aggressive. I'm not gonna lie, I bet if I threw a worm here, I'd get bit like 100 times, but I'm having a good time now with it. Now that I switched to the jigs, I'm having a pretty good time. I think the thing too is going out of the clear water. It's too clear. Some areas that are not typically clear, or now this year they're clear, it makes them fish harder, I think, at this point. Probably not typically the case, but Ain't bad. Got a little scar on him. Looks like somebody tried to nip at him. Yeah, if you can sometimes just find these fish. They're not the hardest to get to bite sometimes, but finding them can be the hardest freaking game out there. And 12 and a half, that's decent. Should we go to the biggest profile we think we get bit on? That'd be kind of interesting too. Oh gosh, they're eating this little tadpole the minute it's getting down there though. Is that a bass maybe finally? I don't think that's a white perch. It is, yeah, it's a nice one. You know what? For the sake of learning, let me try a bigger profile. Let's see. What's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to go back to a little one. There's no big deal in that. You know? It's not like I don't have the heavy stuff with me. I'm going to go to 1/8 ounce. Let's see what we got here. There we go. 1/8 ounce. Short shank jig. Of course, do you ever get pretzel knots in your line? I hate it when I do that. Shell cats were pretty decent size, I'd say overall. I don't hate catching them. They're a little bit hard to handle though. I'm not the hugest fan of them. Okay. Got a whole thing of gulps back here. Let's go for it. Let's try the shrimp. This is the Gulp Turbo Shrimp. Killer Keys lure. So if you got like creature baits you want to match, big fan of these things. They're 3 inches. I used them in the Keys a lot and caught a lot of big fish on them in the Keys. All the snappers, mangrove snapper, mutton snapper, even some, what was the one I'm thinking? Mackerel I caught on these too even. Let's see if that does anything bigger. So we're up to 3-inch profile. I got off that 1-inch little silly stuff now. Man, ultralight's so much fun. This might not be that big of a fish. That's a nice one. A little bit of an upgrade. This guy's gonna go 13 inches probably. 12, at least 12 and a half. I'm gonna put him back. I think so. Wait until I go hug a couple. Yeah, 12 and a half. Nice. The thing is, you know, gulps are fragile baits, but I really picked up a lot of my gulps throughout my life when North Carolina had an open flounder season. Now flounder season's 2 weeks, so you know it's not. You don't need to prepare much for a 2-week fishing season in saltwater, right? So enjoy, figure it out, right? Gar are fun, flounder are fun, but you can't keep them. White perch are fun, brim are fun, catfish are pretty fun. They're all fun. Maybe I was just gonna get a couple bites there and get it. Oh, there it is. Here's another fish. Oh, I lost him. That's okay. Figured this gulp shrimp would work really well. Having a day of north winds is so nice in the summer. I'm not sweating to death out here. No, my gulp. Can't do anything about that. Just cry about it. That camera's slogging. I'm sorry, man. This is kind of like a live stream, right? I was thinking about why this does well, right? You put it up in the background. Like, I really was thinking about, like, who's watching this, right? Like, I guess, yeah, you put it up in the background. You want easy watching, right? Nothing that's stressful. Like, you're getting ready to go fishing and you're doing something in a shop. So people ask, like, oh, when you make these longer videos, who watches? I'm like, I think it's a lot of people who are working on something. They put it in the background, like, as passive watching TV. And listen to it, talk to, it's nice. You kind of go fishing, tune in when something really cool happens on a long day like this. Put on a 4-inch bait. I'm getting, is greedy the word I want to use? Yeah, I'm getting a little greedy. I think I can make something interesting happen now. Got a bite there. 4 inches is big. For a white perch. I've caught them on 5-inch zoom flukes over the years, like big baits. So have one eat a 4-inch bait. I don't think that's too crazy. 3 inches might be the sweet spot because they might not just be eating everything you throw at them necessarily. Man, that breeze feels nice. Missed one there. They're not killing the curly tail as hard as the other, what I started with. I'm noticing, oh, there we go. Oh no, what did I do there? Ran through my line there. There we go, got him. Big. That's a perch, man. That's a nice perch. Oh, man. Let me see if that's coming out. That should come out pretty good. I think that's a good one right there. Feast or famine fish, man. Always has been. Not sure. There's definitely, it was a tree there or something to hang up on. Ah, I got hung up. That's why I didn't get any bites there. It's like an old school bait though. Before gulps, I can't imagine. I mean, I can obviously imagine, but like gulps are just, for years I kind of shied away from them again, but now I started using them more and more. And they're like this toxic bait, as in they become your confidence bait. Like, you have a hard time using something else very often. Like, the only times I go to non-gulp baits is like swim baits for, reds and stuff like that. I have no idea what I just hooked. I think this is a largemouth bass. Based on the jumping, attitude. Yeah, largemouth. Oh, he's gone. That's okay. Yeah. Before you know it, you're using gulps for pretty much everything. How can you not? They catch so well. That bite there. Ooh. Bass. spit it back at me. I'm over 2 on bass with this thing though. Notice that? Getting bites, but I dropped both of my bass just now. That was a nice one too. That was a, you know, an internet 5-6 pounder at least, but it might have actually been a real 5-6 pounder. All right. Catching way more using the artificial. That's all I know right now. Gotta check my phone in a minute here. Another white perch. I wonder, is that hook dull? It's a big bait I'm throwing. No? That's what I like too. Before, you know, as soon as we get into July, it's morning only, man. These midday bites are done. Freaking May, June. Yeah, you don't have to fish at sunrise. That's like the best. It's nice early in the morning. You know, mid-morning, you can fish. Late afternoon bites can be really good. Usually the winds are really, this is one of the rare days we actually have some northeast winds, so I'm like really pumped. They're hitting pretty well on the cast and retrieve. Like a little slight bounce back to the kayak. And there can't be that many fish on this shoal though. I think I'm probably towards the end of the amount I'm going to be able to probably easily pick off. White perch tastes pretty good though. When I ate them a couple the other day, I thought they were, I made them next to some whiting I caught. I thought the white perch were better than the whiting for the most part. I mean, I think they're both good, but I was like, yeah, I think I like the white perch better. I'd say it's like crappie and white perch are both really good. Give a slight edge to the white perch because of the texture. I think crappie has a better flavor, but crappie's texture is, it's okay. So white perch has got really nice texture, especially, you know, from the right water. I've had them over the years in some places in Long Island. I wasn't like that crazy about white perch, but around here I think they do taste pretty good. And then yeah, crappie does have a really nice flavor. They're a little too soft a lot of the time. It's my feeling towards them. All right, I might be done here. Oh, I had a bite there. Maybe I'm not quite done yet. Yeah, having that murky, I feel like I couldn't vertical jig anything out there where I was today, and you know, 10 foot. Like right now I'm sitting in 10 feet. It's, you know, got probably 2-3 feet of visibility here, so this helps. I'll make one cast and I can make a move after that. Missed him. Ooh. It's fun. Fun day in the rivers. Usually I think what happens too is when you pull up to a spot, you throw your lures around and like you bring in a lot of fish that might have been scattered about, right? I think I got everything excited my first couple casts and had 3-4 bites right away. Everything was fired up. Now probably things are settled in, right? And fish some might have scattered away. You know, they get some commotion. It's a fish. Looked like a bowfin. I pulled the hook on him. I think that was a bowfin. Maybe a catfish. Got some brown colors on it. Your guess is as good as mine, though. Because you probably wouldn't, even if I had the camera facing the other way, you probably would have barely seen it. But it definitely was a brownish colored fish. All right, I'll come back here, though, I think. All right. Those fish kind of stopped biting. I'll go back to them one more time, but put another shrimp lure on. These 1/8 ounce tungsten jigs are really nice. Some of that Northland tackle stuff it's really good. Could wipe that go down. Probably gonna get to the point of the day now. I might start keeping some fish. Let's see what we can find here. I'm gonna go to that spot I hooked some crappies at the other week too. So let's see if we can find some, you know, some big bluegills, something like that. Stuff seems pretty aggressive today though. This water's pretty stirred up here. Let's see if that's good or bad. No bites here. All right, nothing there. A bite. Good guy. Tearing through these gulps pretty good. Ooh, got some fish here. Had a bunch of bites there actually. Perch. Oh, sorry, dude. It's the power bomb. I was thinking about using one or two of them for bait. Let me see. I'm probably gonna end up gut hooking one, and I'll use that guy for bait. Definitely feel like I had a few bites there besides that one. One and done. Right, I was reading online though, a lot of people on some of those Chesapeake Bay forums, they're definitely talking about how things are changing with perch and a lot of their brackish water fishing too. Tangle myself up, that's the worst. No, not good, not good. And that catfish is gonna come and eat and break everything. Good, got it out. I guess I'm a shrimp man now. Shrimp and freshwater. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Oh, it's the bowfin. The ruddy bowfin. We're in for a ride, guys. This looked like a pretty good one. Like I said, in for a ride. I think this is the second one I've hooked. Right now in the Blackwater rivers though, like the real Blackwater stuff, they're having the time of their lives with low flow. That is a really nice one, man. Holy smokes. I didn't expect that. 4 pound. Let's see if it holds up. It's lean though. He's looking for a hamburger. Make a stop at Chick-fil-A for him. One of the few fish I've still never eaten. Them and gar. I've seen somebody fillet this before and the meat did not look good. Gar looks pretty good. That's the big difference, but they're both really high mercury fish. And that fish actually knew exactly to not swim in that net right there. These guys probably eat a lot of white perch. I bet they're really territorial. They don't look like good neighbors, friendly neighbors to other fish is my guess. Like a lot of people used to kill them, I was reading. Oh man, he's gonna get everything soaking wet, break me off. Good hook you got there though. It's a good hook. Did the job there. One of these days I'm gonna hook one of these things, you know, as I'm getting older. Imagine catching your first snakehead, like when you catch bowfin for years somewhere and you're like, holy crap, I just caught a snakehead somewhere you don't expect it. You know, let me get that lip gripper on you? Wait, let me get it. Okay, well, it wasn't as solid in there as I thought. That's a pretty good one, man. It's a pretty good one. Got water all over our lenses. Everything's kind of splashed away. The good thing about these fish is as tough as it gets. Oh, a little bit smaller than I thought. A little over 25. Still, that's a nice catch. They can gulp air, one of their features. I don't know if you like that word. But yeah, a lot of people kill them. I was reading about historically. One day I was, in the rabbit hole of reading about that fish too. As you go down into like reading about fish pages, sometimes you read some interesting things. And I read that a lot of people used to kill those things because they associate them as declines with other species. So, which I understand. Okay. Just like speckled trout fishing, follow that current seam. I got freaking lenses are all wet. I don't know. I'm pretty glad I went to the gulps so far for today. Do I have any more 3-inch ones in this? Oh no, what did I do? No more 3-inch ones. I got these 4-inch. These aren't gulps, these are the next one, the closest ones, but let me see what else we got in here. Those 4-inch baits, I don't know. 4-inch might work pretty good too. Got these. Let's try these. I dug them up too. I was like, let me see what else I got. Nice. That didn't work out as planned. What'd that osprey get? You see? I didn't see. It looked like a small bait. Let's see if this works any good too. I don't like having eyes on my shrimp. It's part. My OCD definitely fights this right now. Immediately. But I don't think these fish care. Good looking shrimp lure though. Yeah, looks good. Looks good to me. Let's see how this works. I got a bite right away, so it works pretty good. Just one bite though. Boo. Every other cast so far I had like 2 bites, so make a couple casts and you don't get a bite after like a hot streak. You get worried right away. I start to think like that was the lucky bait. I think it looks good actually. There we go. Nice bass. Nice one. Lost that one too, man. This hook's no good at keeping bass pinned. Where, you know what? It's probably the ultralight more than anything. That was a nice one though. Looks like them tasty crawdads he's eating. A lot of bass in June. May and June are post-spawn. Lots of bass. Saw a couple fish. Swipe at it. Don't know what they were. Guessing perch. I caught some really nice fish here the other day. Let's see if there's anything here. That's where I caught some crappies. See mullet jumping everywhere. Lost 2 nice bass though, man. Both of those were nice. This is a perfect spring day though. Weather-wise. It's not too hot. Just threw into a rock. Got hung up immediately. It's a good time. Oh, I hate that I did that, huh? Didn't mean to. Hope I don't scare a bunch of fishies right now. Got back. Let's try something a little more subtle. Maybe this is too aggressive for this. I've got this guy ready to go. Little Z-Man larvas. First bite. Small bite, but it was a bite. Oh, nothing doing. Little Z-Man larvas. A couple small bites with it, but nothing stuck so far. Where you're going to find fish is not an easy thing to predict. That is really 100% true. There we go. Bass. It's a day for the bass. Just a day for the bass. Oh. This 2-pound test, we're in for it right now. These ones are staying put, huh? Thank you. I'm landing right in the net. That's kind of a skinny one there. He's got that summer weight he's got to put on. Maybe a little stressed out, I don't know. All right, another fish. We're on a lot of fish today, that's for sure. Yeah, just nice and gentle. Tap bottom. Rinse and repeat a little bit. Oh, I think I'm going to lose a jig here. Yeah, we lost that one, didn't we? It's okay. Bummer. Okay, let's get a new one on. All right, let's see if we can gonna do some worm jigging. That's a 1/64 ounce jig. Let's see what happens. I bet I'll get a couple bites here, maybe. Man, is that another channel? Oh, it's a bass at least. For some reason I got nervous it was gonna be another channel cat. Sure catch a lot of bass on worms, man. I guess that's why everything copies a worm. It's a nice fish too. Pretty much ice fishing, right? Lots of fish biting today, man. All right. Our bass. Nice one. I handled you quick. All right, there he goes. Sometimes I get a little weird. Yeah, I'm really surprised. No white perch, no crappies, nothing like that on on these baits, that's for sure. There's a couple fish were looking at my jig. I see them. I saw them rather. Yeah, I don't know how much of a worm guy I actually am. It looks like it gets a couple bites, but I'm not blown away by what you catch on the worms, really. Look at all these mullet. What do we got there? Hey, decent brim. First brim of the day. What is it, like almost 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock? Crazy. All right, time for the next move, I think. A few more shoals here I could hit. Turtles here, not much else though. Yeah, I'm trying worms now, man. I'm not getting much. First bite on a worm. Goodness, it's a small white perch. Hey, I'm going to use this guy for bait though. Keep him on ice. Got a couple spots that might be able to get a flathead or two on the way in. I got that worm there. Nothing's doing on it. I got some really small bites on it actually. Yeah, I ain't impressed with the worm dangle. No, sir. I'm getting small perch. It's good for bait. That's what I'm going to use them for. In terms of bigger fish, I don't think that's going to happen. Try one last thing here, and then we're going to dunk a couple of those smaller white perch for the cat. And might be it. Looks like there's a good amount of fish right here under me. 3, 4 bites there. There we go. Send them to the moon. Some smaller ones then I got. Oh, there's another one. It's definitely mullet too. Okay, let's see here. Call it 1/8 ounce, heavier jig, heavier everything. About to work my way back in. Gonna hit one spot for a channel cat, or see if I can get a big blue cat, something like that. Caught some big cats in the past there, so see if I get any bites there. But dinner time now. Time to catch dinner, rather. I had our funsies, explored, tried new things, skunked a bunch. Caught bowfin, caught bass, caught perch. A lot of catfish today. See mullet rolling everywhere. It's a carp rolling. That looks like a carp rolling over there. More bait. Probably all I'm going to need for chunking. Three 3 baits, 3 perch for chunking. I'll do it. Finding some smaller fish now, huh? Alright, let's try keep working this perimeter a little bit and then get out of here. Definitely good perch bite though. There we go. Little guy. Busted perch. Busty perch. Screw it. Let's try the big. Got this 4-inch turbo shrimp. Let's try it. They might eat this for all I know. I don't think they've ever seen anything this big around here, so. Big turbo shrimp works, huh? It's a good lure. Yeah. Good lure then, huh? Gotta get more of them then. Freaking turbo. It worked better than the minnow, man. Get more bites on this. There we go. Lost that one. Decent fish though. Hard. Definitely getting bites at least though. Keep missing this thing, man. They're going nuts for it though. Bass. Yep. A lot of bass. They're activists. F today. Went to the ultralight for this one. Oh no, no. Oh, I'm amazed I didn't break anything there. These guys wear you down on 2-pound, man. Oh man, come on. Got him. Good fish. Good fish, man. Very good. Happy with that. A little 1/64 ounce jig. Yeah. Stonefly. These things are pretty good too. Fishing creature baits today, right? I think I accomplished the goal. It's pretty similar to the I think the creature baits might have worked a little bit better than the minnow baits today too even. Caught a lot of fish today. Alright, try it one more time there. A lot of bass. They're very active in the middle of the day, I guess, this time of year. Alright, let's go drop a couple of these white perch before calling it a day. See if we get anything interesting on the chunks. Maybe something big. I have no idea. I've got some pretty big cats. Mostly channels, but a couple flatheads, so let's see if we can find any of those. Alright, I might have had a few white perch worth keeping there on the jig. Eye-opening what you catch on worms, what you catch on lures, action. It's different universes, man. I feel like it's never a bad idea to go back and forth between the two. Like, it's pretty obvious I'm not the best bait fisherman. I mean, it was probably obvious forever, but I felt like sometimes it was easy mode, like how easy it was to get a bite, like when I did everything right. But then other times I just waited and probably drowned worms in unproductive areas. I'm looking for a couple of the shell crackers too, red ear sunfish. Bluegill, I'm just, like I said, learning, seeing what I can catch, what I'm missing by not fishing bait more often. I know in saltwater I start throwing live mullet around, I'm gonna hook flounder, I'm gonna gut hook flounder, so I'm not messing with that in saltwater overall. North Carolina's flounder season's closed. So anyway, I'm gonna drop a couple of these white perch down. Let's drop one hole, see what happens. Maybe get a big cat doing that. I'm gonna rig them kind of like I do for the flatheads on the heavier current, but yeah, nothing fancy. Too fancy, rather. We definitely got a couple of fish around though, so we know that. I'm gonna just take his tail off. A couple slits like that. And drop him down. Not here. I think I know where I want to drop him down, but that's what I'm gonna do. Last year we got a 31-inch channel cat doing this, so 31's pretty big. Maybe not for everywhere, but for around here, 31's a good one. Okay. All right, yeah. That white perch is gonna be in trouble though. I'd love to get a flathead. It's been a while. So, got a couple last summer though. We'll do that again too. Yeah, unfortunately I can't stay out until dark. Until my dog at home, she's been kind of a mess. Not in a bad way. She got a bad cut in her paw. It looked like an oyster cut, but she hasn't seen any oysters or anything like that. So, dogs are expensive, but my dog's the Labradoodle. A little bit of a crackhead. Wouldn't trade the world for her though. She's sweet. And yeah, man. Enjoy the day out here. Whoa, look at those gar just sunning on the surface. I don't know if you saw that, I ran over them. So these birds right here, they're cormorants. Pretty much a nuisance bird. Everywhere on the coast. They eat a lot of fish, that's for sure. They're known for that. I think these are cormorants. Yeah, kind of a nasty bird too. Nobody hunts them. Can't do much with them. Sit around, poop in the water like he just did. Eat all your speckled trout. Definitely take a toll on some fish populations. I'm sure they eat bass, brim, you name it. All right, let's see if this brush pile's got anything. Years back, I caught some nice fish here, so it's definitely been a minute, but been a minute, but I think we might get ourselves a nice one here. Yeah, let's do some chilling. Just 5 minutes, see if we get any bites. Try the next spot. So I'm in 18 feet. Some luck I might get a flathead though. Alright, sending the white perch down again. First spot, first time didn't get a bite, but maybe reintroduce it down to the bottom. See what happens second time. I got some bass blowing up on top behind me there. Had enough of those things today. I guess most of the action is going to be in that 10 to 20 foot zone tops. Think he ate it? No, he dropped it. Feeling pretty ravenous, I think. Back down on the bottom there. Just a Carolina rig, real simple. Could be largemouth bass messing with it too. I think these are cats. I think he's got it. He's got it. Oh, goodness gracious. I think I got it. Big. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Oh no, this is why you want reverse. I screwed that up. Reverse would have been what you needed there, but maybe I could fight him underneath there. Jeez. I see where he's got me on that branch there. I might have got it out. No, I freaking just got it right back in there. Let me see. I got to back up, man. This was a bad idea to do this without my reverse drive. Oh man, I screwed that up. Need reverse bat. I see where I'm hung up there. We could get this out. We could do this. Chill out, Elias. Oh, got it. Got it back, but oh, it broke me off even, huh? I think that was my flathead there. Without a doubt. Oh man. Big channel cat maybe. Fucked around too much, I think. Oh man. Big fish there. Next perch going down. Never know, maybe I'll get a second shot at them. I think as soon as they go into their trees, they're done though. Yeah, I don't know. You know, that could have been a flathead. Next one, I know I'm not going to do any of that stupid let it run and see where it goes and all that stuff. I made a lot of mistakes there. I shouldn't have. I have a feeling that was actually that was either a 30-inch plus channel cat or that was a flathead. For sure. Definitely caught me off guard a little bit. Might be the only one I'm going to get there too. Okay, let's try one more time here and I'm going to keep moving. Try this side of the tree, kind of where he ran me into. That commotion probably ended it though, pretty quickly, is my guess. All right, I'll keep moving. That was a channel, it was big. Could have been. Big fish either way. All right, let's give this a try here. Never fished this here, so could be. All right. Stopped here. I thought I saw some live, but I think it's gar or carp or one of these goofy fish that don't bite at all. How's that sound? Well, I spent the last 45 minutes, an hour chunking these white perch parts. Nope, nothing. Missed that one really nice fish that I was too busy goofing around with. Now I haven't seen a thing, I haven't missed a thing. I mean, I got, you know, hoping to see one good bite here. One or two nice bites, but I don't think so. Might be time for old Elias to hang it up. I haven't had a bite here. 14 feet, looks good. No fish. Guess it's time for me to hang it up for the day. Tough day. Definitely a little slower. Summer. It's summer. I guess flatheads is the next thing. Let me just wait a little bit and we'll do the flathead thing as soon as that rears its head properly. Alright, maybe those flatheads are done spawning and that's the next move for me. Ultralight stuff today wasn't that great. I did the worms and the creature baits. You know, perch were a little more active on that stuff, but overall, it's a little tougher day. But I think that's just the cue to switch it up and do the flathead catfish now. I think it's for June and July, that's the freshwater thing to do for me. So, hey, it was still pretty good. I learned a lot though. Saw how weird fishing is. As usual. It's nice to see how weird fishing is. So, all right, let's head back to, let's do the next thing here. We're not done yet. I got more. We got north winds in June to kick it all off. A little unusual, or at least around here. So kind of took advantage of the unusual weather and targeted stuff that probably won't target much in June overall. Kind of expanding things I wish I knew. But I'm having a good time. I'm fishing with stuff like night crawlers, all sorts of creature baits, and then, you know, the usual stuff. Like really the goal here is to catch as many of the types of fish as I can on the coast and maybe catch the biggest ones that I can too, as usual. So let's float around the river systems, throw the ultralights, and see what we can catch for the next few days. So we're kind of doing the same thing like the last time, lumping them together, ultralight stuff, and hopefully catching some nice fish. Okay, I'm not sure if I like spinnerbaits or not. There we go. Let's get it going here. Nothing big, but what's that first fish? Largemouth. Okay. Boo. All right. Well, it's late in the season now. Some bowfin here. This looks good. I would think I'd have a couple fish. Oh shit, my sweater. Alright, spinnerbait didn't catch anything this morning. We're starting at the spinnerbait, and I don't know. It's a search bait, I know that, but it ain't searching much for me. Faithful little ultralight action, maybe. That's right, Gulp Minnow. That's what we're going to bust out first. I got to go to worms, I don't know. But yeah, started with a 2-inch. That spinnerbait didn't do anything this morning. Maybe this will. Late season now. Got some really late cold fronts, so I don't know. Maybe another crappie spawn is going to happen right now. No clue. Oh, there we go. What's the late season bite there? Little crappies. Not sure if we'll find any big ones doing this, but starting here. Come and join me. Okay. Let me try up in here a little bit. Feels like October. Got a late season cold front. Hey, let's fish it. Don't get this kind of interesting weather too often in June to go with a wacky spring, so I'll take it because I'm usually not even thinking about this anymore at this time of year. Should be some big bluegills on the beds, I think, right now. Had my first bite. Two bites now. What are the odds? Got about one. That's my first bite here. Oh, it's the hammer of a bluegill. Get up here. Heck yeah. Oh man, big one. Keeping a couple bluegills. Figured there'd be a few. Supposed to be a few now. Things are just a smidge behind. Nothing like a big old bluegill, man. Heck yeah. This is ultralight nerd's heaven, right? Yeah, we got the 9.5 incher, buddy. Oh, eating good tonight, man. Those things are great. Love eating those things, man. Right, this is a 1/30th ounce jig head and a 2.5 inch Berkeley drop shot minnow, I think it's called. Got my 2-pound outfit here. The ultralight strikes. I'm so pumped. Did tangle myself up a little bit, but that's okay. Little crappies. It's probably the bigger crappies are gone. I don't think they're doing any more. Sometimes they do like a late season random spawn too, but I don't think they're going to be doing that now. Yeah, we got micros on here. It's probably, you never know though. I'm sure there's always a scattered big one or two. Well, just let the wind sit me in there. That's going to be what happens. It's okay. Gotta be more than one, right? There's gotta be more than this, right? I can't imagine this is the only fish I got here. Maybe. Okay, got a couple bites on this guy. Let me try some night crawlers here, see if there's any more big gills or something like that. Hey, night crawlers. That's what you need. I don't want to stick with these little guys too long. I'm sure there's a million average sized bluegills that I'm going to catch on the night crawlers here. I'm looking for my 10-incher. All right, that's all you need to see sometimes. You're like, okay, you're going to catch one or two, and then you're just going to catch the little green dinky sunfish. Green sunfish, I believe those are. Let's see what we got here. Boo. Totally cleaned off there. Try this little minnow again. Bluegills do spawn on anything, right? Not anything, but bluegills are very adaptive where they can spawn too. Can't reel. What is it? A little crappy. Well, the reason I can't reel is because I got no clearance. Oh man. Oh, little crappies now. Damn it. Not what I wanted. Dude, this is hard. Man, fish are hard to find. All right, we got a lot of growth to work here, so let's check it out. The thing tricky here is 16 feet right off the bank. What am I going to catch right there? Should be a few fish somewhere here. All right, got a big weed mat up here. Let's see. It's hard. It's good, but it's hard. Like, they're nice sized fish, but not easy catching them. All right, gar. Big kudzu here, man. All right, this is going to take a long time to work through. Should be a body of fish somewhere here. Freaking bite on the drop. That's always good. Crappie. Bluegill. All right. Wouldn't hold still for me, but all right, got the worms for this, so fire away. I feel like I would have seen a gator already if he was here. Also good. Got lots of little dips and holes here. This is a very nice weed mat right now. It's a big mat. Definitely had a bite there too. All right, let me try the artificial first. Maybe that's going to help me feel it all out a little bit. Got a bunch of fish down there. Maybe they only want worms though. Looks like 5-6 feet down. I'm marking some stuff. Okay, that's not working. Little crabby magnet. I think those bluegill will be super aggressive. Some small bites here, but better than no bites. Getting the brims. Okay. Might have been a bigger fish actually. Well, I think I found some at least, so we got that going for us. Okay, this is hard. Take that off then. Try a little gulp, see what that does. Took the worm off, went to the gulp, see what that does. Okay, that's better. Screw those worms. I think it's a largemouth. What do we got? Oh my gosh. That's the big one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. What? What? That's like one of these bluegills that guy Thai Pig Patrol catches sometimes. What? I thought that was a largemouth bass, man. Oh my goodness. There it is. PB bluegill. Well over 10 inches. Cool. I think that's the biggest one I've ever gotten of these jokers. It's gonna make a good fried fish sandwich, that's what I'll tell you. Look at that. It's a good thing I put that little 2-inch Gulp swim mullet on. Whoa! You gotta clear all this crap off though. Next one to knock down is the 10-inch, 12-inch shell cracker, right? Gosh, look how much junk is on here though. Probably gonna keep like 3 fish tops though. That's wild. Little 2-pound test held up. I thought we were gonna have a largemouth bass maybe. I don't know. Largemouth is what I was leaning towards here. I could try going to the bottom. Let's see what's down towards the bottom here. Still had a couple, but I'm still getting a few bites, but nothing like that thing. Let me just try one drop here. Got plenty of like loose pollen there. Oh man, that guy got me. Definitely got me. It's interesting. It's like you gotta like, it's all reaction strikes with these things, I think. Just get all fired up, they see something they want to kill. Oh, it's a big old whoremouth. These things are cool looking. They eat pretty good too, but I think the bluegills are definitely better. Crappies. I've eaten one, and I thought it was good. It wasn't anything I was writing home about though. This 2-pound test is it's going a long way. And I've done this in like some shallow places for crappies, like pads on some reservoirs up north, and it's worked out pretty good. Never tried it this late. Like I said, we got two things that I liked. We had a cold front, and we're on I think the June full moon right now. So two kind of not unusual things, but it's like, all right, let's see what the late season panfish bite's like. Right, because this is I wouldn't say winding down. You could catch them all summer, but like, is this going to be a really special opportunity? And yeah, I think we got the 10.5-inch bluegill out of the way. That's, man, there's so much to work here. This little chunk of real estate's so overgrown. Bunch of fish under me here in like 10 feet. These look like gar though. There's probably a lot of gar here. Work with. Oh, that feels nice, stretching your legs, old man Elias. Seems like it's always best where the new weeds are forming. Suspicious these are all gar though. All these little, I'm getting like a tap here and there. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's where you get, these guys get these 9-foot crabby poles. Oh, broke him off. He didn't feel that big at least. But dang. Alright. Alright, what else can we work with here? I think going between the worms and the gulps is going to be the best move though, probably. (1/16) Can't believe I got a 10-inch plus bluegill though. Alright, no leader, nothing like that. You're going to break off fish no matter what with 2-pound, but you're going to learn how many nice sized fish you can end up landing with 2-pound. When you start switching over to 2-pound, you want to be like a goober like me with it. You're first going to be so skeptical. Like, as soon as I started fishing 2-pound test, my dad had these outfits. He had 2-pound tests because he used to do a lot of like, trout fishing in some of the tributaries. And I was like, all right, 2-pound, it sounds, I don't know, I just kind of ignored it. But then you're like, oh my goodness, this stuff's so effective. Yeah, that was definitely like a smaller bluegill. I don't know how he broke me off, but the only thing is, yeah, put stress on the line and stuff like that. All right, just working my way down. Gar. Boo. That one's not a gar. Dinner plate size bluegills. Another nice one there. I'll put that one back. Very scattered fish overall though, huh? That's what it seems like. Alright, make 1 or 2 more drops and then I'm going to work my way back up. Got 2 really nice bluegills today though. So that was kind of the goal? A little bit. It's crazy that they suspend that much. I've never really pictured them as a suspending fish for the most part, but yeah. It seems like the points are important though. It's a nice place. These are nice to fish in the wind though. Missed one there. Wow, worms aren't working that well. Alright, taking off the worms, man. Not very impressed with them. Starting to think the gulp might be the better move, man. Did I get 2 nice fish on the gulp? Yeah, I did. Both. One was on the power bait, one was on the gulp. Did get 1 on a worm that was, still pretty nice, I'd say, but overall, not even close, right? A little crappy. First one. Figured there should be a few. Hey, still not too bad. They're not biting that well now. I could tell they're kind of... Sure there's a few around, but it seems like they're not. They're done. I lost him. Start working our way back up. Tough day. Glad I got my PB. little PB action, but overall that was tough, I'd say. All right, let's get out of here. Pretty good, man. Definitely didn't think I'd have these quality today. I thought I'd have quantity still. More mouth. These guys like gulp, it seems like. Small fish here though. Bluegills, no idea. Let's keep going. All right, let's see here what we got. Oh, lost them. All right, keep going. Not that many fish there. Try it in October. Do you want quality or do you want quantity? Right? That's what I feel like life is about. Definitely today we found quality. We had 3 massive bluegills. I didn't have much life today. Guess that cold front and the June full moon, right? That little combination. But there's no like scattered life at all today. That's what it feels like. I'm glad I put some time in. Those are some absolutely monstrous bluegills. Now I know the late May full moon, June full moon. That's when you could find that. Looks like I hung up here. More mouth. North winds in June. Did I get like 3-4 warmouth today? Yeah, I'd say something like that. Scattered life up here. It's either bowfin or a bass. Go bowfin. Bowfin? Yeah. Oh, lost him. the great tragedy of losing the bowfin. That's okay. Alright, we're getting bowfin, bass. Birds chirping. Gulp Minnows minnowing. This Gulp Minnow is definitely the MVP, man. This outfished night crawlers. For sure. Like we don't have to even guess. Seems like I found a lot of warmouth up higher in this tributary here. Smaller ones too, they're not very large, but it's better than not getting any bites. I don't know if they're spawning this time of year too, they might be. This is another bowfin. I don't think this one is. Hey, that's a nice bluegill. Not the 9 inchers, but this is a good one. Most places this is a nice size one. Cool. These fish in this zone seem pretty aggressive. They probably like that those cooler overnight temps probably dropped these tighter creeks down in temperature a little bit. Warmouth fish are interesting. They're kind of like take up very similar properties as largemouth bass, in my opinion. Like where they end up sitting sometimes. Their aggressiveness right now, like they instantly. There's no waiting for the warmouth bite. We didn't get a single shell cracker today. Red ear. But the bluegills were magnum. It's like life is very spotty. At least fish that want to feed are just like extremely spotty. Big tide too. North winds will push all that, back up, keep that water backed up as opposed to kind of naturally doing its normal tidal thing. Is it good? I find like they do sometimes fire off bites of these crazy north winds already though. It's just on the inconsistent side though, at the same time. Yeah, you're not always catching that many fish coming out here though, that's for sure. There's definitely some interesting things to it, for sure. Like this was a very interesting day. I didn't think I could catch bluegill that big, at least in any numbers. Looked like a little bluegill too, maybe. This dude's everywhere. Not everywhere, but seems to be the dominant fish here. And whatever that is, maybe. Beautiful place to fish though, man. I had a couple places like this growing up that were real woody. They were good for crappies, not much else. Maybe bass here and there, carp. So seeing this in the southeastern part, yeah, I'm not sure. I always like to kind of learn what it's like. It's not easy, that's for sure. There's a few fish. It's the bottom line, it's like there's a few. But there's not that many brim, nah. It seems like there's, they're really scattered if they're up in these really nice creeks. I'm sure there's some bass and gar, stuff like that, but I think this is going to be the conclusion of it. Like, I think now, you know, seeing June, May, you know, fall, I'm feeling a little more confident. At least in, you know, when do I catch the crappies? When can I catch some big brim, big old brim, hit a tree? I'm a little surprised we didn't see a single alligator today. I thought we would see one, maybe two somewhere here. Yeah, I'm surprised we're not getting like a little bluegill action here and there. Warmouth stopped too. They were kind of like one little stretch. I was kind of curious if some bigger bluegill make it up here for, you know, towards the summer, because it's probably cooler up here, but just, you know, water temps definitely dropped as I got up here, but I just don't think there's that much food for them here. All right, like this is just a cool place, but it might not just have the forage you want for a lot of fish necessarily. Lack of current does make it harder too. There's just not too much here. Bunch of gar, I think, there. Definitely a bunch of gar. Alright, I think it's time to go, guys. Not finding much up here in the woods. It's one of those days that I'm like, well, I think the value of catching bluegills like this. Let's go somewhere where we get more action tomorrow, I think. Wanted to make the video long. Not that I think I want to get somewhere with a little more action. Waiting for the weather to get back to southwest 2 days a week or so. So speckled trout's supposed to open in July. And then we got, I think, the rumor says flounder. I don't know. I think they're probably, by the time this uploads, the flounder season's been announced. So probably nothing to get excited about is going to be my guess. But see if there's at least two. I hope there's at least a month and a half, but it's probably not going to happen. Just some nonsense. It should honestly be at least 4 or 5 months, but you know, like everywhere else. Yeah. All right, still had a great day, man. Got some fish for the table, lure and saw. I'm gonna let all this stuff probably give. I don't know. Probably start winding down on some of this stuff until October or so. Like learning it. It's beautiful to fish. It ain't the fishiest place, don't get me wrong, but one of the things that doesn't come out on camera, maybe, just the enjoyment of it. You can blame social media's algorithms for that. And yeah, this is real fishing, right? You're not stressed out here. You're surrounded by green nature. It's wild. But yeah, it doesn't mean the fishing's amazing, right? Interesting how that works. All right, let me get back in. Let's see what the next day does. Doing the grand tour of the coastal rivers, man. Catching fish, though. Having a good time. All right, I will never stop singing the praises of this bluegill. Only took me, this measuring board's line. It says 11 inches. So I figured, last time I did a fillet segment, I was like, oh yeah, what do I talk about? I was thinking, let me read the comments and give some longer answers. So, as a fillet, I'm gonna probably read and then start answering as I'm filleting. Right, let me just see if you've got the action of me filleting and botching up this. All right, anyway, so Shane Mosley 4055 says, here in southern VA up until last week, the drought has really put the fish into a weird mood. I hope y'all just south of us finally got some of this deluge we got over the last 4 or 5 days or so, tight lines. So yeah, this has been the driest year I can ever spring. So I think the dry stretches at some point do overstay their welcome. I think eventually, like, it seems like a lot of the river fishing does fish better on low water, and I agree with that, but I think we've had too long of a nothing changing kind of situation. Like, I think you want eventually get some rain and stuff like that. All right, I've never filleted a big bluegill like this. Let's see if I can do it. It should have a nice slab of meat. Some people fry them whole. I'm sure that's a good way to do it too, but sometimes the bigger ones get a nice fillet out of them, nice fried sandwich. It's up to you, man. What else we got here? Brandy Wine Angler says, some pretty sweet fishing. Also really respect your approach to fishing and harvesting, maintaining a good balance with the resource. I really hate throwing away fish. I think it's the way I grew up, that I get really upset if I ever throw away anything, even like bluefish. I don't throw away much, it very rarely happens, but I kind of know how much fish to keep. I might give a little bit away. I'm not like a give away barrels full of fish to my neighbors, but some of my neighbors will give me like some fresh produce, stuff like that. Like they have a much better garden than I do, right? I'm the fisherman, not the gardener. So we'll make a little trade. So I do give them some fish as like a thank you, and I know that's catastrophic to some types. But yeah, I generally, am I still in this frame here? Yeah, I generally do not really give away tons of fish. I really rather not. RKV21 says, cold winter, mostly bad. Can confirm. I think in that video I was saying how the colder winter definitely seems like a lot of fishing's not great for the most part. Some things are good. I'd say the crappie run this year was the best I've ever seen around here. Big red drum, also very good. I don't have a great camera set up for that. I gotta work on that. Big red drum, also really good this year. So I would say a couple things. The Spanish mackerel run kind of sucks. Let's say that's like the biggest disappointment so far. And there's just generally not much life. Like nothing's blowing up out there. It's pretty quiet on the surface life side. What's the matter, Tulip? My dog's rolling in the grass, enjoying herself. Hey dear. All right, these guys get some pretty solid fillets, man. I really like that. Started fishing around Elizabeth City thanks to your videos. Ultralight fishing from a kayak is hard to beat there. I'm guessing you're doing a lot of white perch, maybe some stripers, speckled trout, I think, Elizabeth City. I don't know, maybe you got crappies too. Yeah, ultralight is I probably would have never picked it up if the flounder and just like, yeah, some of the typical fishing I used to do got really inconsistent in the last 3 years, I'd say, especially the ocean fishing, right? Like the bait runs, the Spanish mackerel, the size classes aren't as big for the spring. They used to be pretty big, right? So a couple of those things kind of changed on me. So yeah, ultralight. I'm not great at it, but as you can tell, I'm really enjoying it because I'm catching fish I could take home a little bit. I'm definitely getting more good vibes out of it too. I guess I got to fish around industrial stuff my whole life, and now I finally have opportunities to fish around trees and in nature more, and I really like it. I mean, it's not saying industrial stuff is like all bad. Like fishing industrial stuff can be really good. Man, we're gonna have some sweet sandwiches off these guys. I kind of like bluegill better than the crappies, I'd say. But I don't catch too many 9-inch, never mind 10.5. Like the 9-inch plus ones, I don't catch that many. Fried whole is good, but there's just something about getting a panfish and getting it all crispy on some breading and then throwing it on a slab of bread. Yeah. Big fillets on these things though, man, for 11-inch fish. Remind me of from saltwater spadefish, because spadefish have a lot of like a similar shape. Triple tail, I guess, too. So hang on. Oh gosh. Gonna use these YouTube bucks to get a better camera mount right here. Okay. Robert Hand, 482. I like these videos the most. More relatable to me. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, I get it. It's not a spectacle. I like making them too. Sometimes they, I shy away for long periods of time because it's kind of my income, right? Making YouTube videos. And sometimes some formats don't work out too well. But right now it seems like, as of this recording, doing a nice 4-hour kind of like a live stream, right? That's what I'd say this is. Yeah, works for me, works for you. If it pays the bills, to me, I just want to do whatever's enjoyable. And if I count my blessings. Oh, this one's got the white flesh. I wonder what those pigments, I think it has to do with the diet. So this was the one I caught and kept earlier in the day. And today was weird because, right? Quality, right? Not much quantity today. This one's got a couple of these parasites near its gut cavity too. Mike Dawson Fishing said, he's also a channel member, thanks Mike. The return of long form perch fishing. The bull drum yawn. I've been doing this same thing in the Chesapeake and its creeks. Ultralight is a great vibe this time of year. Got some perch and tidal largies on Memorial Day. It was a great trip. I'm glad you got a good trip. Yeah, ultralight's fun, man. I think the real draw of it too is at some point during the day while you kind of go through your catching of pretty much your target, right? Whatever you're gonna eat or just have fun with, you're gonna hook other stuff. And are you gonna land it because you're fishing ultralight, right? Or are you gonna, you hook a lot of stuff with these ultralight, especially go up in these rivers. In saltwater, I don't want to do it too much. A couple people always say like, oh, you should try those ultralights in saltwater. Yeah, I don't want to spend 8 to 10 minutes on red drum fights, especially because you can only keep one. Yeah, I'm just like not super into that idea. If I could somehow if we had the croaker population, the big spot, that we used to, a decade, 15 years ago, I would be throwing those little goofy things all over saltwater. But the reality is, for me to go make a slab croaker and spot video, somehow I'm gonna have better luck doing freshwater bluegills, crappies, white perch, all these fish. I'm gonna come home with more meat for freshwater when it comes to ultralight. I mean, aside from, sheep's head and maybe black drum, you go saltwater fishing, you ain't coming home with a bag of fish and just a whole lot of fish most days. I love the videos. Try to ignore the haters as much as possible, says Hamilton Bell 2472. I do, but I do sometimes, how should I say, I keep them in mind in some degree. I don't really let them dictate what I'm doing. But yeah, I appreciate that though. Yeah, at this point in social media career, if you don't have any haters or anything like that, you're boring and you're not getting any traction on the platform. So having haters is kind of a metric of success now. It's weird, but that's the way the world works. At least if you're an online anything, right? Just think about every single online person that's big online. All right, last one. And yeah, comment on this and I'll read them on the next, fish cleaning station. Sorry if I didn't get to everybody too. Wilkins Mechanical says, you should eat one of those bass sometimes. The 1 to 2 pound fish are delicious. You're right, they are good. I do eat a lot of fish in general. And I try to not, even though the 1 to 2 pound fish are good, I try not to put too many fish in the fridge. So going for the white perch, one video, and then today the bluegill, and then I'll be out in another day or two. So this is one meal. and we'll fry that up, and then boom, I'll be back in another day, keep a couple fish, maybe gut hooks, maybe I'll be picking and choosing what I want to keep, etc. So, you know, I got a couple fish in the freezer. So this guy, these measuring devices are, there's no way that's a 10-inch blue, 9, okay, yeah, 9, all right, that guy says 9.5. 9.5. And that other one, I think sometimes that folding measuring board is not always the most accurate one that I used, or this one's not that accurate. Yeah, it says 10.5, okay. Hey, we got some PB bluegills. All right, let's see what the next day does. I think I'm gonna do more riverine stuff, but night crawlers one more time. This was like really eye-opening to see getting those bigger bluegills on the gulps and the power baits. So, hey, all right, let me clean up and then we'll see you next chunk of this one.